The Alkebu-Lan Revivalist Movement presents Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM and GalaxyAfiwi.com, the only de-brainwashing station. Weekly discussions and live debate on all issues affecting the African community at home and abroad. Tune in Mondays 8 to 10 p.m. and have your say as we talk it straight and make it plain. It's live, it's hot, it's scintillating, it's real. It's Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio, the only de-brainwashing station.
Tendai Mwadi, be thankful unto God. Greetings, Voice of Africa. Greetings, Galaxy family. You're tuned into Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan. Hosting tonight's program is Brother Omawali and myself, Sister Kai. It's Monday, the 9th of March, and it's 7 minutes past the hour of 8. Alkebu-Lan is known for keeping its finger on the pulse of the community, addressing the most pertinent and controversial issues some radio stations just won't touch. So keep it locked on 102.5 FM or www.galaxyradioafiwi.com and join us for the next 2 hours by calling 07983 852 952 or 07538 008 634. You can also text 07572 222 156. On Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, we talk it straight and make it plain. This show is not for the faint-hearted. Tendai Mwadi. Yes, brothers and sisters, this evening's show, our discussion is, what is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? What is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? One of our guests this evening is going to be Brother Tariq Nasheed, the producer of the Hidden Colors trilogy. So, sisters and brothers, keep it locked on 102.5 FM. And this would be a good opportunity to call one of your friends and say, tune into Galaxy Radio, because we've got a very interesting show this evening. Just one of them, just text them or phone them and get them locked in this evening. Tendai Mwari. Tendai Mwari, greetings and welcome, Brother Mwari.
Tendai Mwari, Sister Kahi, giving thanks and praises to Mwari Nyakusika, God the creator of the universe, through the spirits of Mzumukuru, Rumbitsu Konamwari Africa, to the God of Africa, be the glory. It is a joy to be an African, and it's a joy to be on Galaxy Radio, 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com, the only de-brainwashing station. Tendai Mwari, I want to give thanks and praises to Brother Abu Ratata Black in the UK, with the motherland vibes richly over the airwaves. My brother, we give thanks and praises that you're back here safely.
That's right.
When they say in the bowels of Babylon, you know, we give thanks and praises. And, you know, it was some very, very interesting discussions and music, beautiful music from Mama Africa as well. And the great work that Galaxy Radio is doing in Mama Africa, doing in Sierra Leone, doing in Gambia as well. Definitely. You know, so definitely the Galaxy vibration is spreading worldwide.
That's right.
So we give thanks and praises for the excellent work of the management and staff at Galaxy Radio. Tendai Mwari, Sister Kai.
Tendai Mwari, definitely, Brother Omawali. And we implore our sisters and brothers of Galaxy Radio to support Galaxy Radio in any way you can. Support Galaxy Radio, because Galaxy Radio is serving you, it's serving me, it's serving Alawi. Tendai Mwari.
Tendai Mwari, my sister. Yes, indeed, brothers and sisters, and Sister Kai said we are going to be interacting with Brother Tariq Nasheed. He is the producer of the Hidden Colors trilogy. And our subject matter this evening is, what is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? What do you think of films like Hidden Colors, brothers and sisters? Are they enlightening you? Is it too controversial? You know, what do you think, brothers and sisters? The lines, the hot lines, you can log them now, are 07538 005 634 or 07983 852 952, or you can text us on 07 572 222 156. Tenda Mwari. And we're blessed to have with us back in the studio, black in the studio, brother leader Mbandaka. He deserted us last week, brothers and sisters. I know you missed him, but he was doing the work. He was at the National Black People's Day of Action, and he did interact with us, to be fair, so he wasn't really off duty. But we give thanks for the fixtures and fittings of fixtures and fittings, none other than the spiritual leader of the Alkebu-Lan revivalist movement, brothers and sisters, the UK ambassador of the UNIA, none other than brother leader Bandaka. Tenda Mwari.
Tenda Mwari, brother Mwari. Now you know why I wasn't in the studio last week. I wanted to feel rather more alive, rather more animated.
Than you are now. Were you looking?
Well, rather than fixtures and fittings usually are, but Tenda Mwari. It's good to be here. You know. I want to bring greetings to you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
My beloved brother. And to Sister Kai and to all our listeners.
Tinamori.
Yes, in inside and around Galaxy Radio. And as always, I bring greetings in the most precious, powerful, and bountiful name of our motherland, Alkebu-Lan, Mama Africa, and the sacred spirits of our most gracious ancestors. And in a prayer for oneness, hope, and prosperity for all African people upon the face of Mother Earth. Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. And I just want to reiterate, Brother Mwali, in addition to saying, yes, indeed it is a joy to be an African and a joy to be on Galaxy Radio. We give thanks and praises for the safe return of our beloved brother, Brother Abu Ratata, from the motherland. You know, coming in this evening, I saw our beloved brother, and you know, we pressed some flesh, and it was nice to just get some vibes, you know, from he looks well sun-kissed, brothers and sisters, and it's just nice to just hold some of that vibes, you know, emanating from him. That makes one feel that much closer to the motherland and feel that much more spiritually enriched. So we give thanks and praises for that, and of course for the great works that are being done here at Galaxy Radio for the empowerment of our people. And I hope everybody is still filled with the joys of the National Black People's Day of Action.
Indeed.
Oh, yes,
you know, what a
definitely.
wonderful day, you know, hosted indeed by the Interim National African People's Parliament. And I heard our brother Bongo Tete yesterday on his show. I was blessed to hear part of the show yesterday, and I heard him make firm reference to the Interim National African People's Parliament as we were discussing the upcoming elections and you know, the politics of racism and what we need to do to empower ourselves. And our great brother Bongo Tete was emphatic that we should be giving serious consideration to signing up to INAP. And that's, of course, a cry from the Interim National African People's Parliament. Sign up to INAP. Sign up to the Interim National African People's Parliament. And I'm sure brothers and sisters who were there on Kunchagulidi this time last week will be spreading the word throughout the community as to the phenomenal event that unfolded at the Caribou Center on the back of those powerful, those awesome events that we had honoring the life and the legacy of the eminent prophet and king, Omowale Malcolm X. What a storm!
Oh yes,
what a cultural explosion, brothers and sisters!
Thunder and lightning.
That that kicked off at the Caribou Center again, but this time it was on Kuumba evening, the 27th, Friday the 27th of February, at the Caribou Center, and our young people were just firing, brothers and sisters. They were just unleashing so much power, so much spiritual and cultural energy, and so much energy in terms of their determination to take a firm stand for the liberation of our people. So great to be here, even, you know, to be called fixtures and fittings. It's just an honor to be here, my
Absolutely, my brother.
Even
Absolutely.
to be reduced to fixtures and fittings.
No, you're elevated, my brother.
It's good to be here, brother.
You are absolutely elevated, and it is a pleasure having you back in the studio,
Tendai Mwari.
my brother. Tendai Mwari.
I'll be a fool for liberation, my brother. You know, so if I'm prepared to be a fool for liberation.
No, man. No, we don't deal with fools, bro.
I'll be a fixture. I'll be your fixtures and fittings.
All right then. Tendai Mwari.
Tendai Mwari.
Tendai Mwari. Brothers and sisters, we do have some very important announcements for you. There is one very, very important one regarding our dear Baba Ben-Jochannan. Tendai Mwari, brother leader?
Yes, Tendai Mwari. Yes, we had word through the email coming from the States that our Baba Yusuf Ben-Jochannan appears to be making his transition at present, and brothers and sisters were being asked in the States to visit the hospital, and information was being given as to which hospital he was in, and told that he was making his transition. This was sometime early yesterday that I came across that email. So my thoughts have been with the spirit of our Baba, who is some 96 years of age now. He was born on the 31st of December in the year so-called 1918. So he'd be 96 years of age, and we know what a strong and forthright character he has been, and a grand master teacher for our people and a general in the war.
And a wicked sense of humor as well.
A torrid sense of humor, but certainly a general in the war for the minds of our people, the battle for the minds of our people, and has done tremendous work over many, many years. And I think we said on our program our programming about OMX, we said on a number of occasions that both he and Baba John Henry Clark were actually advisors to Papa Omowale Malcolm X.
That's right.
And so there's a rich legacy there, brothers and sisters. So we give thanks and praises. Our elder, our Baba, whatever his state of being is still on the earthly plane with us. And what I ask of us all is to send our healing meditations to our Baba presently, and whether he will remain with us, whether he will make a recovery, or he will indeed make that final journey from this earthly plane to the ancestral plane, we still send healing meditations so that he will ascend with a powerful spirit, if indeed he is to ascend. Tendai Mwari.
Tendai Mwari, my brother. I just want to read something from our producer as well, brother Ola Tunji as well. He said he remains the last Baba standing of the Taurin generation of 19th/20th century born warrior scholars, for example, Chancellor Williams, John G. Jackson, Edward Scobie, John Henry Clark, Chekanta Diop, etc., etc., that transformed the psyche of a race. So, yes, my brother.
All those powerful names, all those powerful spirits we've just seen. That's like pouring life. It's libation we just poured.
Because for true.
Man. And once you evoke those spirits, great things will come.
Absolutely,
great things will come.
Unfortunately,
there's a whole generation of powerhouses. Warrior scholars.
Absolutely.
In the war for the minds of our people.
That's right. Tendai Mwari. And fortunately, they've all left a legacy in terms of their work, but in their work there is that spirit as well. I mean,
but where would we be without our scholars?
Absolutely.
They are the ones who have gone around the world unearthing the evidence of our sojourn as a people, and our great accomplishments, the great civilizations that we as a people built.
That's right.
The great civilizations we masterminded and we sustained and preserved for hundreds of years and even thousands of years.
Yeah.
And these great men and women have gone around the world unearthing all of that and delivering that, in messages and lectures and what have you to us not only in the United States of America. Many of those names that you call are people that I actually had the pleasure, the honor, the blessing of meeting here in the UK.
Yeah.
And they've helped to link us up across the waters. As our President General of the UNIA often says, only the water that separates us. They have connected us through this great, massive scholastic and intellectual work that they have done.
And to all intents and purposes, their exploits are very much a selfless exploit.
Absolutely.
You know, in terms of, you know, not being necessarily remunerated to any extent in terms of the value of what they've produced. It's very sacrificial.
Yeah.
What they've done for us.
Absolutely. In more ways than one, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, because these are men, you know, great women who could have made a fortune.
That's right.
Out of just towing the line in the realms of the academia.
Yeah, the big professor.
The big professors and doctors and so on, and just could have made a name for themselves and write books that that Europeans would love and Europeans would invest in.
Wazungu.
Yeah, and make themselves comfortable, you know, set themselves up for life. But no, they decided to make a conscious effort to make sacrifices so that they can empower our people with knowledge. And we must value them. We must give them the recognition that they deserve. So now, brothers and sisters, let us all focus on and send our healing meditations, send our healing energies to our Baba Yusuf Ben-Jochannan, a roaring lion.
Absolutely.
In his day, brothers and sisters. If you ever witness this man, I've seen him speak at Hackney Town Hall, Camden Town Hall, and other places, the Yasantewa Center, and he is just so awesome. He's just such an explosive, speaker that he's just great to behold, a grandmaster teacher. So let us send our energies up.
And when
Tendai Mari,
Baba Ben and Tendai Mari, when Baba Ben and Baba John Henry Clark used to team up, man. I've seen some of the DVDs, and some on YouTube and some of the tapes from back in the day.
Yeah. Two contrasting styles. Yeah. One is explosive and one is a roaring lion, and the other one is you could say,
the Michael Holding.
He's more softly spoken, more of a lamb, but a lamb with a deadly cutting edge,
whispering death
to his wisdom and to his clinical analysis of white supremacy. He would dress down Eurocentric global white supremacy to a T. You know what I'm saying? So but they had a very complementary style.
That's right.
Two very, very awesome elders. Tendai Mari.
Tendai Mari. My brothers and sisters, you're tuned to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan and Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com, the only de-brainwashing station. Our subject matter this evening, brothers and sisters, is what is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? We will be interacting with our brother Tariq Nasheed, who is the producer of the Hidden Colors trilogy. Tendai Mari. Tendai, we have a text, Sister Kai, we have a texter on the line?
No,
okay,
we don't.
Tendai, okay.
This Wednesday.
Oh, yes, Power Films. Wow. Yes, our young people.
The Army strikes again.
Army, yes.
And
I want to give thanks to the Army, they're doing some wonderful work. The Army and Power Youth, yes, for putting Power Films together, and
Power Youth is the young people of Power Sis.
That's right. And Power Youth and Army present a Power Film screening of Dark Girls, which is starring Viola Davis, and it's also a question and answer session. This is taking place this coming Ujama Day, this coming Wednesday, the 11th of March, and it is and the doors open at 7 p.m. It's at our headquarters, Mama Africa, 282 High Road, Leighton, E10 5PW. So brothers and sisters, young people in particular, but African people in general, make sure you support the work that our young people are doing. Power Youth and Army, our youth and the young people of the Power Sis. And Power Sis are also having something soon as well.
Yes, at the end of the month, they have their annual Woman of Substance
Indeed.
award ceremony, which will be taking place on the 28th of March. That's Saturday, 28th of March, 7 p.m. And I will get you the full address, brothers and sisters. It's in the Borough of It's in Walthamstow. But I will get you the full address before the evening is out. And we will, before the month is out, we'll be hearing from Power Sis as well. Because that is such an important event where we honor African women. And we don't do that enough.
We don't do it enough. And but what was done last year on the day was none other than the sister sitting beside me even, around the wheels, as we say, was honored as one of the, have I got it right? Sisters of Substance. Have I got it right? Women of Substance. Sisters of Substance has a more poetic ring to it, brother leader. Don't you agree?
Substance is substance, my brother.
Is it alliteration? Is it? Sisters of Substance.
Sisters of Substance. That's
an example of alliteration, isn't it, my brother?
That's an alliteration.
All right. Yeah. So
more so than women of substance.
Absolutely.
But substance is substance.
Yeah.
Too, my brother.
But on the subject of substance, Sister Kai was honored last year in the field of broadcasting, and also in the field of, what was it, Sister Kai? I should know this, shouldn't I? Freedom fighter.
No, I think it was broadcasting.
I said broadcasting, but you got 2 awards, didn't you?
Yes, I got a prestigious award, overall prestigious award.
Ooh. Wow. Prestige.
Absolutely.
That's right. So, the hard work of our freedom fighters.
That's my queen, a woman of substance.
Indeed.
Yes, and I do believe that Sister Kai will be the recipient of an award this weekend.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, yes, not this weekend, the following weekend.
But when I'm supposed to...
The weekend after, the 28th of this month.
Are people supposed to know that in advance?
Yes, I think it's...
All right, is that how it works?
One award from the Nation of Islam, I believe, and then there is another award from I learned today that she's been given another award from the Black Mental Health Association. Black Mental Health UK. Black Mental Health UK.
Wow. In what field? Field of broadcasting as well?
Well, it has to do with broadcasting.
Wow.
But also, it says here, is a community political activist who has consistently used, yes, that's right, consistently used her platform.
Our Sister Kai, brother leader?
Our Sister Kai.
All right, okay. I thought it might be the other Sister Kai.
Believe my brother, but I don't know why you seem so surprised, Brother Moore.
No, I thought it was the other one.
No, this is the Sister Kai. There's only one Sister Kai. Tendai Mwari. Oh, he used her platform and network to educate and inform the community about the latest issues as they happen. This fighter for justice continues to do us proud. We salute you.
Indeed. We salute
you. Word, brothers and sisters.
And this is they say the International Women's Month, and apparently the official International Women's Day was yesterday. But for our queens, our warrior queens, every day is, you know what I'm saying?
Is national and international and
international,
international
Women's
Day.
So we give thanks.
But just to let everybody know that Sister Kai is already spoken for. I just want everybody to know that Sister Kai is my wife, and she's spoken for. In case there's anyone looking for a strong
a woman of substance,
to stand by their side. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. Just letting brothers know.
Okay.
Yeah, Tendai Mwari,
my brother.
Just thought I'd throw that one in, brother.
Thank you, brother leader. Thank you very much. That is a very useful.
We're proud of our sister. We're proud of our Sister Kai.
Indeed. Tendai Mwari. Brothers and sisters, you're tuned to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, the only de-brainwashing station. Tendai Mwari. Our subject matter: what is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? Tendai Mwari. Back in 1970, legendary poet Gil Scott-Heron famously proclaimed that the revolution will not be televised. However, it certainly could be argued within the last decade, at least, an insurgency has been developing in global African documentary making, often referred to as guerrilla filmmaking. These types of films are made without major studio backing and covering issues that major studios are rarely interested in. Although not a new phenomenon, as the likes of pioneers like Menelik Shabazz and the Ceddo Film Workshop, for example, they have things like Step Forward Youth, Blood Time and Judgement, The People's Account. Access to new technology has meant that high production values can be rendered with relatively few resources or even formal film school training. Another aspect of the new phase is the featuring of an array of community activists and leaders alongside established academics. Typical of this new phase is the 2005 film 500 Years Later, directed by Owen Shahaba, written by Menelik Shabazz Jr. An expensive account charting the legacy of enslavement. 2 years later, Tariq Nasheed of the Legali organization directed the first of his several films, Ma'ar for Truth, 2007, that served as a stinging rebuke to the UK government's bicentenary of the abolition of the so-called Slave Trade Act campaign, colloquially referred to as Wilbur Farce. Other notable films in the genre include Rice and Peas films, Bang Bang in the Manor, and Gang Wars, Menelik Shabazz Jr.'s The Black Candle, brilliant film, Longbelly Entertainment's Ancestral Voices and As It Grows. One film released in 2011 that has gone on to become a global phenomenon, spawning two sequels with a third planned, is Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Colors, dealing with issues like the untold story of people of Aboriginal, Moor and African descent, the triumph of melanin, and the rules of racism. Across the series, the films include contributors even from the likes of Dick Gregory, Mama Frances Quez-Welsing, Dr. Umar Johnson, Joy DeGruy, Tony Browder, Michelle Alexander, Runoko Rashidi, Paul Mooney, KRS-One and Nas. Nasheed will be in London to deliver an exclusive lecture on the international rules of racism on Sunday, the 15th of March. So although the last decade has seen a proliferation of Pan-African diasporian thought and opinion documented in film, it is less clear to the extent that it has influence or is influenced by grassroots activism stroke movements. In the way that Blood Run, for example, fed into the activism of the National Black People's Day of Action in 1981. Indeed, Menelik Shabazz said of his film, the film was edited in a deliberate newsreel style, a throwback to Second World War propaganda film. This was agitprop filmmaking with no pretense at being impartial. In my mind, it was a film for underground circulation in the community, he states. One may point to Toyin Agbetu's recent Beauty Is, a film and its attendant campaign around skin bleaching, hair straighteners and promoting natural beauty. On the other hand, it has been suggested that in the absence of a viable, vibrant grassroots movement, as there were in previous years, the vacuum is being filled by these consciousness-raising films. So, brothers and sisters, this evening, we ask the question, what is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? Is the revolution now being televised? Are these films influencing or influenced by grassroots movements? Is there still viable, vibrant grassroots movements? Have you seen any of the Hidden Colors films? What is your favorite documentary film? Do these films play a role in raising consciousness? Our special guest, brothers and sisters, is Brother Tariq Nasheed, who is an author, documentary film producer, media personality, satirist, internet radio host, relationship expert, and social commentator, focusing on the psychology of dating and African American social history. In addition to authoring several books on relationships, Brother Nasheed produced a 2011 documentary film, Hidden Colors, on the history of African and Aboriginal peoples, and its follow-up, Hidden Colors 2, The Triumph of Melanin, and Hidden Colors 3, The Rules of Racism, was released last year, 2014. Recently, Mayor Byron W. Brown of Buffalo, New York, made a proclamation that declared November the 1st, 2013, Tariq Nasheed Day in the city of Buffalo. Tendai Mwari. Right. Do we have Brother Tariq Nasheed there with us? Okay, we're going to get him shortly, brothers and sisters. Tendai Mwari. But just to remind you, brothers and sisters, to log these numbers in on your phone before we interact with our brother. And if you do want to attend the event, there are a number of outlets, including our very own Mama Africa. We'll give you a bit more information about that later. But log these numbers, brothers and sisters, 07-538 005 634 or 07-983 852 952, or you can text in on 07-572 222 156. Tendai Mwari. Yes, Tendai Mwari, brothers and sisters. Right, Brother Tariq?
Yes, sir.
Oh, right, we've got our brother. Tendai Mwari, Brother Tariq. Welcome to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan.
Hey, it's my pleasure. How are you brothers doing today?
We are giving thanks and praises. We got brothers and sisters in the studio. Sister Kai is my co-host. Want to greet brother?
Tendai greetings, Brother Tariq.
Greetings, sister. Glad to see you. Glad to hear you.
We look forward to seeing you soon, my brother. On the 22nd of March, the International Rules of Racism. We look forward to that event this coming Sunday. But Brother Tariq, our main subject matter is around the impact of the new era of African-centered films. Now, you are the producer of the Hidden Colors trilogy. So in terms of the impact, my brother, of what you have produced, what kind of impact has it had?
Yeah, the Hidden Colors series, it shocked a lot of us when it came out because it was an experimental thing. I didn't know how the film was going to be received when I put it out, but I knew that I had to put something out because of the way the media was portraying African people globally. Over here in the United States, the image that we get of Africa is basically mud huts, the same image that they used to have in the Tarzan movies. The image of black people globally is either gang members or rappers. It's a very negative viewpoint of us. And also, when we look at movies produced by Hollywood, black people are always being placed in a subservient, inferior position. Movies like The Blind Side, movies like Precious, movies like The Help. We're getting inundated with images like that, and our story is more vast. So I took it upon myself to say, Hollywood is not going to portray the real images that we need to see of ourselves, so we need to get our own resources together and produce our own films, and that's what we did with the Hidden Colors series. And fortunately, it took off, and a lot of people gravitated towards it, because I wanted to make the film in a way that it wouldn't talk over people's heads. I didn't want to make the film where it would talk at people. I wanted the film to be very conversational and relatable to all facets of black society. Outside of the designated conscious community, all black people can relate to the Hidden Colors series, and that was the goal, and thankfully, people got that. And the movie Hidden Colors, all three of the Hidden Colors series, it's the most successful African history documentary ever. As a matter of fact, when the movies came out, not only did they outsell all other black documentaries, but they started to outsell the white documentaries and the mainstream documentaries that were put out.
Right.
Something that we're very proud of, because this was 100% grassroots with the Hidden Colors series. And I wanted to kind of set the tone and let people know that we're going to have to fund our own media outlets if we want to tell our story.
Absolutely. And it is tremendous work. I mean, the feedback over here has also been phenomenal as well, particularly amongst our youth as well. I know the third of the trilogy. I guess there's more to come. Is there? Is it just going to be 3, or is it more? Because I think everybody's expecting, well, at least another. There's another one to come, isn't there?
Yes, we're working on another one right now. We're working on Hidden Colors 4 right now as we speak. So,
Okay.
and we're going to keep the momentum going, and that's another thing. A lot of times when we, as African people, when we get a victory or we get a momentum going, we kind of take a break and celebrate, and there's no time for that. We keep the momentum going, keep getting the information out there, and keep using the series and other series, because hopefully, I hope this will spark other people to do their own series about African life and African history. We get to tell our own story on a continual basis, because the people who practice white supremacy, they don't take breaks. We're getting constantly bombarded with images of white supremacy and false images of our history being erased and white supremacy being inundated inside of our history. For example, these Egypt movies that's coming out. We get to see these movies about Egypt and ancient Egypt with actors playing Egyptians. That's propaganda, and they are constantly doing that. So we have to be able to counter that type of propaganda.
Right. Okay. Now, you mentioned number 4. What's the theme of the number 4? Can we get some insight into what the theme is, or not yet?
Yes, indeed. Number 4, the theme of this one is called Hidden Colors 4, The Religion of White Supremacy. So we're going for the jugular.
You certainly are. That's hot stuff now.
Yes, indeed. Even the term white supremacy is a very controversial term. I was doing some media over there, some call-in interviews, and I was told to not use the term white supremacy on certain radio stations out there in the UK.
Okay.
And even here in some places, when I use the term white supremacy, that kind of gets people a little tight under the collar.
Right. I was actually thinking even a more controversial title is the word religion, as opposed to white supremacy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So when you put that, because religion is already controversial within itself, when you talk about religion and white supremacy, now you're really playing with fire. But
that's right.
With that fire, because we're already getting burned.
So you're taking religion out of the closet then?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to talk about religion. We're going to break all of the religions down and talk about the origin of a lot of these religions, because most of the religions that are global come from the African spiritual systems anyway, and they've been amalgamized into white society, and they've been whitened up, and they've been used to subjugate melanated people globally. So we're going to break all of that down. We're going to talk about how white supremacy itself is its own religion. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. We're going to break that down.
Okay, well, we look forward to that. I want to just get back to some of the, basically, starting your work in 2011. Now, what sort of challenges did you have in producing such a seminal work?
Well, really what I was going to do, I wanted to do something as far as history, because I do lectures on relationships. And I've always mixed in history as I talk about relationships, and I mix in race, because relationships and race, they kind of go hand in hand. And when I would talk about relationships and race and history, people would tell me, well, you should do a book about it. So Hidden Colors was actually going to be a book at first. Then I said, okay, I'm not going to do a history book, because that's going to bore people. People, when they hear a history book, they'll get bored. So what I'll do a documentary of me just breaking history down. And I got a Kickstarter page, and this was when the crowdfunding site Kickstarter was relatively new. Okay. I wanted to raise like $20,000, and I was going to put my own money into it. And we got the money on Kickstarter, and I put my own money in it. And instead of me doing the documentary by myself, I came up with another idea. I said, let me get a lot of people that I like and admire, like Brother Umar Johnson, like Francis Cress-Welsing, like Brother Kaba Kamene, Phil Valentine. I got these great scholars that were very well known. Most of them were well known in the 90s, and the new generation were not as familiar with them as they should have been. And I got all these wonderful people together, and we did the documentary, and it just took off from there.
Yeah, that really is wonderful, because I know what you're saying about books in terms of people may not necessarily relate to that, especially the younger generation. So this was a very dynamic tool to actually use, bearing in mind a lot of our people are on YouTube and the various different outlets that they have to watch DVDs.
And what's amazing about Hidden Colors, after Hidden Colors came out, all of the young people started asking, okay, now where can I read more about this?
Right.
I can point to the books and everything to them more information. So now a lot of bookstores call me and thank me every.
All right, you whet their appetite.
Yes, indeed. So now bookstores are getting flooded with people coming in trying to get more books that touch on the subject of hidden colors.
Now, one of our main dilemmas is the impact of grassroots movements on today's young people and really kind of setting the pace in terms of the African-centered liberation focus. Now, back in the 1980s, we have a film producer here by the name of Menelik Shabazz, who did a powerful film called Blood I Go Run. It was during a time when we had what was termed the New Cross Massacre, where 13 African children were killed in a suspected firebomb attack in London. Now, that particular documentary spoke to the mood of the people, and they were Pan-African and other liberation movements around who could sort of feed into that, or who the public could feed into. But there is the perception nowadays that the trend is being set more by the filmmakers rather than the liberation movements. How do you see that?
No, I see it the other way, because the film, the Hidden Colors film, that's the voice of the community, and we're just capturing that voice and putting it out, because this is what they want to see. This is what they want to feel. This is what they want to know. And I talk to a lot of brothers and sisters in the community, and that's one of the things that helped me put the Hidden Colors series together, because I talked to them and found out what they wanted to know, what information were they more susceptible to. And that's what we did with the Hidden Colors series, because a lot of the information in the film people didn't know. A lot of folks didn't know about the wars, and it's just a lot of information people didn't know, and they wanted to know, because we want to know our own history, and we get tired of hearing civil rights and slavery all the time. And not to minimize that, but whenever we talk about African history, it starts at slavery and basically takes off from there. And our history is more vast than that. We had a great history before slavery. We'd never hear about African history. So I wanted to talk about what went on in ancient Africa. And also what we can do now, because in all my films, one thing we do that a lot of documentaries do not do, we offer solutions.
Right.
For film. After we get the history, after we get the knowledge, after we get the consciousness, now what do you do? And that's one thing that makes our films unique.
Okay, to what extent were you inspired by some of the Pan-African or other community organizations in the U.S.? Really,
with me, I travel the world. I travel myself just on leisure. And a lot of the stuff that I talked about in Hidden Colors and a lot of the places, I had been there personally. I've been all over Europe. I've been to Africa. I've been to Egypt. I've been to all through Asia. So I would see certain things myself, and I said, okay, this would be very interesting to let people know how there are people who look Africoid in some of these places. And I would always wonder, how come these people, the darker people in these countries, are never shown on television? So again, that just started with me traveling and just learning the world on my own. And again, I read a lot of books from scholars that were in Hidden Colors. That's why I brought them in. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, her book, The ISIS Papers, that book literally changed my life when I read it in the early 90s.
That's a legendary work.
Legendary work. And I recommend that book to anyone if you really want to understand how white supremacy and racism works and what you should do to deal in a society built on white supremacy. That book literally changed my life. The work of Shahrazad Ali, the great Queen Mother, her books changed my life, and that's why I brought her into the Hidden Colors fold. So a lot of people that I was influenced by, I actually brought them into my films.
Right. Okay, my brother. Well, we're looking forward, as I said, I think I said the 22nd, it's actually the 15th.
Yes.
Of March that you're coming over. Now, the International Rules of Racism. Obviously, you're going to be speaking on the subject, so can you just give us a little? Can you just whet our appetites a little bit as to what you're going to be speaking about? Because a lot of people, and we're a ticket outlet as well, so people have been saying, you know, what's it gonna be like, etc., etc. So I said, well, tune into Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM this evening, and you're gonna hear from the man himself. So just give us a little taste of what our listeners and our community at large will be hearing from you, my brother.
Yes, indeed. Well, what you're going to hear is me talk about how the system of white supremacy is a global phenomenon, and brothers over there and brothers and sisters in the UK and brothers in Africa and brothers here in the United States, we are literally in the same boat as far as dealing with the system of white supremacy. I want to talk about solutions that we can implement to protect ourselves from the system of white supremacy. I want to talk about some of the strategies that the white supremacists use globally to keep us subjugated, and we don't understand these rules. So there's a lot of great things we're going to talk about, and it's going to be very empowering. And that's my thing. When people leave my lecture this Sunday, I want you to be more empowered than you were when you came.
Right.
And Brother Tariq, who's your main target audience when you were thinking about putting these films, these documentary films together? Who's your target audience?
My target audience was the guy standing on the corner, the girls just hanging out, young people who would normally not look at films like this or not be interested in history. That was my main target audience, because it's one thing to teach a person who's already into the knowledge, but I wanted to reach the people who are into basically music videos and Instagram and Twitter. I wanted to touch them because these are the ones who need to know the information. And that's why when we did the film, we almost did it like a music video. If you look at the editing of Hidden Colors, everything is extremely fast.
Yes.
Lot of information that's just being thrown literally nonstop. And that's because the new generation, they have a shorter attention span. So they're used to looking at videos. They're used to looking at things on the internet. So I had to make everything very fast and to the point. And that was my target audience. And I hit them, and it worked.
Brilliant. My brother, we have the spiritual leader, Brother Leader Bandaka, in the studio with us of the Alkebu-Lan Revivalist movement, who just like to greet you, who will be there on the day when you're ministering to our people this weekend. Come in. As
we said, by the grace of the Almighty. Brother Tariq, greetings, and it's wonderful to hear your voice on the airways here in what we call Africa, UK.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how is the family in Africa, US?
Oh, the families over here, they're wonderful over here, brother. Where in the Caribbean are you from, brother?
I'm from Jamaica.
Yes, indeed. I was in Jamaica a couple of years ago in Ocho Rios, man. Beautiful spirit with them brothers and sisters over there, man. They have they got the most proudest, strongest spirit over there with those Jamaican brothers and sisters, and it impacted me so much. And our brothers over there, they've always had a revolutionary spirit in the Jamaican islands, man. So I want to talk a little bit about that too.
Okay.
Over there, that Jamaican spirit, brother, because I have so much love for those brothers there.
That's right. It's the African, as I know you know, it's the African spirit as it's manifested in Jamaica. It's all those Caramantes from West Africa, and mainly the Akan descendants who refused to accept the system of slavery. Something special about Jamaica, because it was one of the so-called slave-breaking islands.
Yes, it was.
You know, and so that the power of that African resistance is still there. It's still in the music. It's in the dance. It's in the politics. It's in every aspect of African life.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So we are looking forward to seeing you in a few days' time. I hope you're looking forward to seeing us in equal measure.
Yes, indeed, brother. I cannot wait to get over there to touch our brothers and sisters over there in the UK, because a lot of us over here don't even know that a lot of black people are in the UK.
Wow. Why is that?
Because of the images we see on the television. We never see our brothers and sisters over there in movies and television. And that's something that we need to know about so we can reach out to you.
Well, I know you kind of touched on it, but you might just want to elaborate on it a little bit more. I don't know how much time we have with you left, but you know, the importance of us controlling our own media as African people. Would you just elaborate on that a little bit for us, please, for the listeners?
Yes.
Why is that so important?
It's so important, just like the song that the brother Gil Scott-Heron made like almost 50 years ago. The revolution would not be televised, and a lot of people don't know what that means. That basically means that corporate media, they're not going to let you know when things go down. When it goes down, we're going to have to let ourselves know. For example, brother, when they had the riots in Ferguson, there was a media blackout. They had the media not show what was really happening. And helicopters come and show what was really happening. And when you have a media blackout, that means that they're going to start attacking people, and that's exactly what they did. I was in Ferguson that first week when everything was going down. So that's why it's important for us to have our own media, because when the dominant society is ready to go throw down on us, they're not going to show it from our perspective. So it's up to us to tell that story. So it's up to us to get our resources together. This is why group economics is so important, so that we can fund and finance and support our own media and tell our own stories.
Tendai, can I just say on the subject of group economics as well, it's something that I wanted to touch on with you as well, because I know you're very much a Claude Anderson fan, and we saw a bit of it. I believe it was the third of the trilogy, Hidden Colors 3, Claude Anderson.
He was in the second one.
He was in the second one, okay. All right, but I know that's something that is very, very important to you, and it's got to be very important to us as a community if we're going to move forward. Can I just say as well, I just want to give thanks to Brother Marley of Back to Black Empire, who the organization is putting on the event and promoting the event as well. I want to give thanks to them for making the link with you, and hopefully we're going to be hearing from Brother Marley a little bit later on.
Yeah, she'll be joining us about 9:30.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, so Brother Tariq, it's been a pleasure having you.
Absolutely.
It's been my pleasure, family. I enjoyed every minute of this.
And we look forward to hearing from you, my brother, and we look forward to the continuous, tremendous work you're doing with Hidden Colors.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, family.
And I want to implore you to keep that fire burning. You sound fired up and ready to go, my brother.
Yes, I am, brother. I'm ready to get it in.
I can't wait to see you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Blessed love, my brother. Tendai.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Give thanks and praises. Tendai.
Yes, brothers and sisters, you're tuned to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan and Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com. Tendai.
BFBP music. Taken from the Shona language, spoken mainly in some southeastern regions of Africa, such as Zimbabwe. Tendai Mari means thanks be unto the Creator. As we give thanks unto the Creator, we also give thanks for the creation we have been blessed to share with each other. Anyone who seeks to destroy this creation shall burn. Right now we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Right now we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. Right now we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Right now we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. I ain't at my political party, how I sisters my sisters and aunties. Alkebu-Lan, that's the heartbeat. Black Fist be part of the army. Haile Selassie and Marcus Garvey. Big up Tupac, Illuminati. Before Bruce Lee and Mr. Miyagi, it's a black man that created karate. My strength is ancestral, I don't go church, my body's a temple, soul don't die, spirit don't settle. If Garvey's alive, then I must be a vessel. That's why they call me a rebel, born in hell, don't like the devil. Britain put black people in ghettos, around here family don't say hello. Around here we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Around here we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. Around here we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Around here we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. Right now we speak our own tongue, sing our own song and beat our own drum. Build our own schools, we're teaching our young. It's time for action, the speaking is done. From the time our people got hung to save our own lives, we owned our own guns. If we don't fight, our freedom won't come. Revolution deep in our lungs. Black people got robbed, we are not poor. What you think the police got the dogs for? So we're training pit bulls with lockjaws. Cause we're on the front line, this is God's war. Just look at France if you're not sure. Never show mercy, I never say mercy. Talk like a Frenchman, what for? Round there we don't show. Round there we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Round there we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. Round there we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Round there we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. Round there we aid Amy Garvey, Empress Menon, Rita Marley, Winnie Mandela, Asata Shakur and Nanny Maroon, that's hard the army. Round there we aid Amy Garvey, Empress Menon, Rita Marley, Winnie Mandela, Asata Shakur and Nanny Maroon, that's hard the army. Round there we say Tendai Mari, round there we say Tendai. But if they ever touch one in the army, tell the devil man Tendai. Round there we say Tendai Mari, round there we say Tendai. But if they ever touch one in the army, tell the devil man Tendai. Round there we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Round there we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. Round there we say Tendai Mari, tell the devil man them can't harm me. Round there we aid Marcus Garvey, Leonard P. Our Rastafari. Round there there it ain't Amy Garvey, Empress Menon, Rita Marley, Winnie Mandela, Asata Shakur, and Nanny Maroon, that's harder army. Right there it ain't Amy Garvey, Empress Menon, Rita Marley, Winnie Mandela, Asata Shakur, and Nanny Maroon, that's harder army. Right there it say Tendai Mari, right there it say Tendai, but if they ever touch one in the army, tell the devil man Tendai. Right there it say Tendai Mari, right there it say Tendai, but if they ever touch one in the army, tell the devil man Tendai.
Tendai Mari, brothers and sisters. What else can we say?
Yeah, that's what we say around here, you know. That's what we say around here. Tendai Mari. Raspek Fire Bingi.
Indeed.
It tore up Mosiah Storm. Not Mosiah Storm, OMX Storm.
That's
OMX Storm.
Mosiah Storm,
And
of course, the
then tear it
original.
up again the National Black People's Day of Action.
Action, man.
Yes.
And just had the
And
people
this track is
reeling.
going viral.
Absolutely. And so it should. But it just goes to show how we can inspire our young people. You know, this is what a movement is about. You know, that mass dynamic social force that's all pervasive. And that's what liberation organization, that's what we do. We emit that spirit of liberation out there into the African atmosphere, if you like. And the young people pick up on it, and you see it coming through their everything to do with their youth culture. You see it coming through their artistry. You see it coming through their dress code, everything. They start to relate to that message and that vibration that we put out there. And it's just, I just feel so good, so vindicated by this young man's work. You know,
He's a tremendous. Tendai Mari is a tremendous spirit, you know.
Absolutely.
Very, very valuable asset to our community. We give thanks.
No doubt about that.
We give thanks.
No doubt about
Brothers
that.
and sisters, you can listen to all, well, probably not all, but most of our Africa Speaks shows on www.alkebu-lan.org. I know a number of people wanting to listen again to the interview with Baba Zach Kondo in relation to the assassination of Omowale Malcolm X. If you can now tune into all the W's, alkebu-lan.org/listen back. So that's where you can get the previous shows of Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan and Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, www.galaxyfreeway.com, the only de-brainwashing station. Tendai Mari. Brother Leader, got a little insight there to our brother Tariq Nasheed.
Wow.
You know, it's some serious work.
Absolutely.
You know, and number 4 is on the way.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's really, really good to hear that. And you know, I want to applaud our brother. I want to applaud all those who have worked with him, worked alongside him. You know, the emphasis that Brother Tariq put on us as a people, you know, developing our own sense of agency, creating our own institutions, the emphasis he put on the importance of media. You know, because media is about how we connect, how we transmit messages in the most dynamic and efficient and effective way to our people. And the emphasis he also put on reaching our young people. We've got to have the technique, the dynamics that will reach our young people and move our young people and magnate them to us and give them the conviction and the confidence to express what message we bring to them. It's through their own mediums, with their own understanding. So this is just such an important interview. And I thought you did an excellent interview there, Brother Moale, with Sister Kai chipping in here and there, teasing out some very important information. But our brother, I just love the sound of Brother Tariq. He sounds very fiery. He is very informed, you know, very knowledgeable, very versed brother, and certainly worth coming out to hear. And
That's definitely.
Look forward to seeing Africa UK. We've had a couple of very powerful events in the community recently, and this promises to be another powerful event, brothers and sisters, and another occasion where we can, you know, come together and just press some flesh with each other and hear what I am sure is going to be a very important and very powerful message. Tendai Mari. And
just to remind you, brothers and sisters, the event is taking place on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 15th of March, and it is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and it's at Friends House, which is, it looks like 170 to 177 Euston Road, which is in West London. You can also go to backtoblackempire.com /index. Well, go to backtoblackempire.com, and I'm sure you're going to get the rest of the information. If you do want tickets, we are a ticket outlet, Mama Africa, so you can come and get your tickets from there. You can also get your tickets online as well at many different outlets, including Mama Africa as well, but I'm not too sure exactly. I can't remember the code that we have to use. But brothers and sisters, we're going to hear from our brother Brother Marley of Back to Black Empire a little bit later on. So look forward to that. Tendai Mwari.
Well, the lines are open, sisters and brothers. You've heard Brother Tariq. He's not here to answer any questions, but you may want to share your experience of watching Hidden Colors 1, 2, or 3. And you may want to talk about the importance of independent black media. The numbers to call are
07538 005 634. That's 07538 005 634 or 07983 852 952, or you can text us on 07572 222 156. We'd like to hear from you, though, brothers and sisters, on Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com. The only, Sister Kai, the only de-brainwashing station. Tendai
Mwari, definitely. And I think we need to also big up Black History Studies and Power Sis, who have been also central in promoting Hidden Colors 1, 2, and 3. I think it was those organizations that did the first screenings and, really just promoting the importance of African independent media, Power Films, showing a number of different films from our community, as well as Black History Studies. And a lot of brothers and sisters will know that they have screenings regularly every week on different aspects of our history, our culture, whether it's song, dance, documentaries. Very important information feeding our community. Tendai Mwari,
my sister.
And of course, we now have Power
Films.
That's with Power Youth and Army.
Indeed.
And that is, again, they're targeting young people, but the old heads like ourselves can attend.
Speak for yourself.
But this Wednesday, remind brothers and sisters again, the film Dark Girls will be shown, and it was taking place at 282 High Road, Leighton, E10 5PW, Mama Africa Culture Shop. And that's 7 p.m. So once again, it's not just watching the film, but it's also the discussion that takes place after it, which is really enlightening at times and fiery.
That's a very interesting film, actually, Dargo. Tendai Mwari, brother leader.
Yeah, Tendai Mwari. I was just thinking that the beauty of all the announcements that have been made in the last couple of minutes is the manifestation of African agency, African resourcefulness.
That's right.
African groups and organizations and individuals who are building institutions that puts important resources in our community that we can draw upon, we can tap into to gain knowledge, again, to develop our insight into very important elements of African tradition. Because after all, the media is the vessel through which we propaganda is projected, and propaganda is mass mind control. It's the art and science of mass mind control. And if we're not in control of our own minds and how our minds develop through information, through knowledge, through propaganda even, if we're not in control of that, if we're not in control of what goes into the minds of our young people, our children, and somebody else is in control of that, and experience teaches us that those who are in control of the minds of our people may not necessarily have, or very rarely ever have, if ever at all, the interests of our people at heart. So it's very, very important that we control our own media sources. And in that context, I also want to big up once again the medium through which we are now ministering to our African community, at the African world community. We just had someone from the States speaking to Africa UK, which is, of course, Galaxy Radio.
Of course.
102.5 FM. The most, in my humble opinion, the most powerful Pan-African medium we have here in the UK.
Definitely. And, brothers and sisters, it's not just that we have a very important African medium. to reach our people, but they have been consistent. Consistent
Absolutely.
over many
30 odd years. I think
Yes.
it's 34 years.
It's easy to give up, or it's easy to lose focus and change your image or change your perspective because you might want to fit in with what is going on of the times. But Galaxy over the years just got stronger and stronger and more powerful and more powerful. And from a weekend station now all week, all day, 24/7. It's just great.
Yeah,
and I think,
but it multiplies the work.
Yes, that's it.
The
It means
labor
more work
by 10 at least.
This
you know,
is
it's a lot more work to
and
keep.
that's why we've got to support Galaxy Radio
24/7.
because I remember people constantly phoning in Galaxy and saying you need to be all week. I remember Brother Abu saying, "Yes, you can say all week, but you're gonna sit here and give up your job." And it's true. We assume that somehow it's going to just happen with nobody there.
It doesn't happen like that.
It takes a lot of hard work to run a station.
Commitment.
I mean, the other day somebody was blocking the airways.
I mean, I was disorientated all of last week when Galaxy wasn't on. I'm in the car. When I go in the car, the first thing I do is put the radio on, and it's constantly on Galaxy Radio. And you go in the car, you switch on, there's no Galaxy, and you just feel disorientated because it makes you feel as though you are in connection with, our community, the family, the African family that's tuned into this powerful medium. And so, again, it underscores the importance of us controlling our own medium. Just to say, I believe I heard Brother Mali, who phoned into Galaxy yesterday, say that that Brother Tariq is going to be in the studio here on Sunday. So
Okay.
that would be something special. It's going to be hot in here on the Moja Day Sunday. So we just ask brothers and sisters to tune in.
Yes, indeed.
Because you're going to hear more of what we heard this evening.
Absolutely. Tendai Mari. Can I just also give a big shout to another institution in our community, a Pan-African organization, the All African People's Revolutionary Party, who had the relaunch of their youth wing, Ajamu. And it was a wonderful event, so I want to big them up. It was an event in honor of Omawale, the life and legacy of Omawale Malcolm X, and it had a panel of young people as well who are doing some tremendous work in our community. I want to particularly give credit to a sister who is only 19, and she has set up a group. I forget what the name of the group is called. I did have some of their paraphernalia. I think it's not with me at the moment. Get Out. It's actually called Get Out of Gangs. The sister's name is Sister. That's it. Sister Temi Mali. And that's it, brother leader. That's the one. Get Out of Gangs. Yeah, Sister Temi. And she started the group when she was 16. Temi Mwale. And she started the group when she's 16. She's 19 years old now. She's very, very articulate. And she has produced a number of workshops as well to help to get our young people focused and, in the right direction. So I want to give thanks to the All African People's Party in general and the youth wing Ajamu, who have relaunched themselves. And we look forward to their meetings every first Saturday of the second Saturday of the month at the Chestnuts Community Center. So we give thanks and praises to them. Tendai Mori.
Tendai Mori. I have a number of texts here, Brother Omwale, and brothers and sisters can text in also by texting on the
07572 222 156. That's 07572 222 156. Brothers and sisters, our subject matter again, very, very important subject matter. What is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? Are you inspired, brothers and sisters? Are you inspired by African media? Have you seen any of the trilogies, any of the Hidden Color trilogies? Tendai Mari, Sister Kai.
Tendai Mari. We have a text here, and it says, Tendai Mari, all the films you are talking about are US films. Where are the black UK film makers? Where are they, Brother Morley?
Okay, we did mention in the summary, maybe our sister didn't hear the summary, that we... Oh, sorry, I thought you said it's a sister. Right, well, our texter, we did mention the work of Brother Toyin Agbetu, who who did
Of Ligali.
of the organization called Ligali, who did some tremendous work during the time when they were trying to railroad us into the abolition,
bicentenary of
the
bicentenary
bicentenary,
the slave
the
trade,
so-called slave
so-called
trade.
slave trade act.
Yeah, and our brother produced Ma'afa Truth to 2007, which really was...
That was a trilogy as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And there's also Brother Menelik Shabazz.
Shabazz.
Yeah, we mentioned
Yeah.
Brother Menelik Shabazz.
And yeah,
Love
we mentioned
Rock
the
Story,
we mentioned
Blood of the
Ceddo-
Run.
Ceddo
Be-
film.
yeah, bevy of films, film titles that he did.
Nice, some of the
Yeah.
people
We
know
mentioned
who
the,
he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
Menelik Shabazz, the Ceddo Film and Video Workshop, which was an organization in I believe they were based in East London, and they had some stuff as like Step Forward Youth, Blood of the Run, a system Kai mentioned, Time and Judgement. The People's a powerful work as well.
I seem to remember Yemanja as well, doing a couple of films.
That's right.
Film documentaries.
When they were based in London.
When they were based in London.
Uh-huh.
You know, so we do have some filmmakers here in the UK.
That's right.
You know,
So there's work.
Need our continuous support.
absolutely.
That's right. Tendai Muradi.
Tendai Moyari.
This, brothers and sisters, you tuned to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, Galaxy 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com. Yes, brothers and sisters, the only brainwashing station. We're going to link up with our caller shortly, brothers and sisters. Tendai Murari caller, you are live on Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM. We get to that caller shortly, brothers and sisters. Just to remind you of the numbers, sorry, that's the internet address, isn't it? www.galaxyafiwi.com if you want to tune in on the internet. On the hotlines are 07538 005 634 or 07983 852 952. So there are a number of community activists producing wonderful work. Tendai Muradi. Tendai Muradi caller, you're live on Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan.
Tendamari, greetings, family.
Oh, Tendai Muradi, that's Brother Kwame from Nottingham.
That's correct, yeah.
Welcome to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, my brother.
Pleasure to be here as usual.
Right, you know, our subject matter this evening, what is the impact of the new era of African-centered films? What impact have they had on you, my brother?
Somebody who's been conscious for a long time. Me personally, they don't have an impact for me, but obviously those other people who are in that journey to becoming conscious or to attain a consciousness on a different level.
But my brother, seeing people like Mama Frances Quest Welsing on film and some of the other greats in our community, does that not continue to inspire you and uplift you and, you know, just charge you up?
No, I mean, as a child, I did watch, what do you call it, you know, and even the other day, a couple of days ago, I was watching, you know, some documentaries on Kwame Nkrumah.
You're Saji for
the struggle, you know, how the struggle he did to, you know, get independence for Ghana, and look at his journey from Ghana as a young boy, then going to Jamaica, so going to the US and meeting greats like George Padmore, W.B. Du Bois, and Marcus Garvey, and you know, Nkrumah was asked what fired his belly, and he said that of all the things that you know, that book that he read, the book that inspired him the most was the Philosophers and the Opinions of Marcus Garvey, you know. And then Nkrumah went to Britain to actually help form the first Pan-African Congress in 1945. It tells that journey. So I was inspired anyway by looking at how African leaders like Nkrumah were able to, like, you know, instill a whole generation of Africans into a political consciousness, as he used to call it. So I do understand, you know, the things about Francis Quest Welsing, and also, you know, looking at things like John Henry Clark, a great and mighty.
Yeah, that was beautiful work.
And also 500 Years by Menelik Shabazz. That's another excellent one as well. But I think that you know, those few and far between, like you said in Britain, there just seem to be, with a couple of exceptions, there seems to be a void of conscious African-centered films. You know. And that also aligns itself to the fact that there is lack of African-centered media in this country. You know, we have what is called a black media, but the black media isn't really conscious in the sense that it's basically, you know, you could say a blackwash version of what is called white media. You know, there's no world view in the black media here, what is their world view? What is their global African view? You know, what is their global UK view? What is their global American view? What is their global view in terms of our people in Australia, our people in Papua New Guinea, being brutalized by the Indonesian government? You know, so you know our media, our circle media here, with a couple of sessions, like I know Brother Tony Nagbetu and the great work he's doing for the Gali. You know, apart from that and a couple of others, there isn't that much that our people need to get, can get a sense of who they are. Because unfortunately, most of our people, 99% of our people, in the UK, get their information on the world from the Western media. And what our people do not understand is that the Western media has an agenda, right, and also has a worldview that is not necessarily African. The worldview of the BBC is an Anglo-Saxon worldview.
Absolutely.
The worldview of the CNN and NBC and Fox.
My brother, can I just ask you about the trilogy? I don't know if you no doubt you've seen the Hidden Colours trilogy. Have our brothers and sisters in Nottingham, have you had any sort of feedback in terms of those who have seen it and what kind of impact it's had on them?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoke to a couple of people who went to see it, and it's obviously had a positive impact on them, particularly the young people that I spoke to who seen it, because they, obviously our young people, they are void. There's a void in this kind of consciousness.
Yeah.
And when seeing that, they said, "Oh, it kind of blew them away, blew them apart."
Right.
Because they never had seen that kind of consciousness on that level.
Yeah, clearly our brother's reaching the target market then. That he, I don't know if you heard our brief interview with him earlier on, but that he.
I mean, I've heard of the interview and I feel very inspired by listening to him, because I know that what he's going to deliver is a powerful presentation.
Absolutely.
Many of our people are deluded by this assertion.
Brother Kwame, I'm very sorry. If you just finish your sentence. I do apologize for interrupting you. Sorry. It's just that we've got a number of callers on the line. I just want to.
I think it's very important that the community in London. I don't know if it wants to come up north, but I think it's something that we would like to do in the future. Try and get these speakers up to Nottingham and Peter.
Absolutely.
Just as I want to get Brother Leader Bandaka to Nottingham.
All right.
But I think that I would urge a lot of our community in London to actually go and see this brother and hear about white supremacy, because a lot of our people,
Word.
This essential multiculturalism, believe they don't understand what white supremacy is. But no, white supremacy is actually deeper. It's on a spiritual level, and it's even on a demonic level.
Absolutely.
And it works on different levels. Like Kwame Nkrumah said that it's very, very well. It's a well-oiled machine that operates, legally, economically, military, health, food, etc.
Absolutely, on every single level.
And to get a more fuller understanding of what white supremacy is, so that we can actually better be informed as to what the enemy is and who the enemy is and how we operate.
All right. Thank you very much, Brother Kwame, in Nottingham, doing some tremendous work. And again, thank you again for interacting, allowing us the opportunity for Brother Leader to interact, and for the word to be spread to our young brothers and sisters, our community in Nottingham. Give thanks, my brother.
And if, inshallah, God willing, I'd like to get Brother Leader on this Saturday.
Okay.
I can discuss.
You can discuss that, yeah. Blessed love, my brother. Take care. Tenda Amradi. Brother Kwame from Nottingham, he is doing some wonderful work up there. I know he was in Ghana. He had a few little challenges, but we give thanks. Tenda Amradi. The numbers, brothers and sisters, again, 07538 005 634 or 07983 852 952. We have a caller on the line, Sister Kai.
Tanamwari, yes, we do. Before I go over to our caller, this text says, shouldn't we be saying her story instead of history, and instead feel Valentine a racist?
Okay, we
also cannot forget the contributions of the other Maroons from other Caribbean islands and the mainland Caribbean, to include Trinidad and Guyana.
Okay, someone's opened a can of worms there. Phil Valentine being a racist. All right, we'll
speak to Brother Shakara.
Tindamwari, Brother Shakara.
Yes, Tindamwari, greetings.
Welcome to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan. What's your contribution this evening?
Yes, first of all, I just wanted to just make a contribution with regards to the importance of film here, and just put the whole thing into perspective. in terms of the fact that we live in a multimedia era, that takes place at this current moment in time in the context of something that they call the information age. And so film, in this day and age, as it has always been, but especially in this day and age, has become one of the primary means for dispensing ideas. And ideas is the currency of the time. I'm saying information and ideas is the currency of the time. And so one of the ways that we can primarily educate our people is through the medium of film, and that is brought to stark reality where when we look at the fact that the film industry that we're most affected by over here in terms of Britain is Hollywood, and Hollywood makes film to the tunes of billions of dollars every year. And if we understand the psychology that is involved in these things, we will know that there's no such thing as entertainment for the sake of entertainment. They're always constantly reinforcing their image of themselves, their image of us, and their image of the rest of the world. And so there is no extent to which we can invest in developing our own media by the way of film too much. So having said that, coming out of the OMX storm, which was mentioned earlier, I just want to big up the film medium that is developing right about now, which is Got Kush TV.
That's right.
Came and covered the event, and I had the opportunity to start building with them. That we're going to be, it's going to be serious over here in terms of film media. I also want to big up. You play Raspek Fire Bingi's track, and Raspek is trying to build the Blackfish Black Power BFBP media. I want to big up Dalian and Verona Adolfo, who are the producers of Long Belly Entertainment, who brought us Ancestral Voices, which is really trying to rescue the African spirituality, the image of African spirituality, and they're also working on the second edition of Ancestral Voices 2.
All right.
Monumental work, that is really redeeming and rescuing the image of African spirituality from the images that white supremacist media has flooded us with.
Very important work.
There are a number of, and you've mentioned some already.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned them. We were trying to get on Long Belly Film and Menelik Shabazz this evening, but unfortunately we weren't able to secure that them in the studio.
I'm sure that will happen at a future date. But it's just to mention them and say that this work is important, and we shouldn't downplay the importance of the medium of film. Is what I'm saying. And oftentimes when it comes to these discussions, yes, we need doctors, lawyers, engineers, and all manner of professions. Yeah, but mediums like film help to inform the purpose for lawyers, doctors, and engineers.
Yeah, but you make a very important point there, Brother Shakara, about this whole concept of entertainment, because many of us, and we see films as just simply for entertainment, and we're there probably it's very relaxed, and absorbing some stuff that is either beneficial or detrimental depending on the content of what we're actually absorbing, but we're kind of at a low ebb or a very relaxed ebb, just taking all this stuff in, not realizing that a lot of investment has taken place. But we're talking about the Eurocentric media now. They've put a lot, you hear about the millions and of pounds that they've put into producing this product. It's not just for entertainment.
Well, you see, I'll say two very quick things in response to that, yeah? The first one is that we have to also, in that concept, we have to give thanks for brothers and sisters who, as a journalist, I get very much involved in breaking down language, symbolism, and imagery in film. And there are a number of brothers and sisters who I have learned from in that respect as well. First, I have to, when I was very young, my father gave me the book from the Browder Files. Which helped to open up, my eyes as I've been learning to decode the language and symbolism in terms of films. And Anthony Browder does film breakdowns to this day to get us to decode the thing, not just watch the film, but decode it. And then over here, you have brothers like Brother Hakeem from the Nation.
Yeah.
You have people like brother Tony Warner, Brother Andrew Mohammed, who always go deep into the films and break down the language and symbolism for adults and young people alike, so that we're able to tap into the sensibilities and not just watch it as though it's entertainment. Yeah. And secondly, and lastly, it's just to reinforce the fact that people paint their own images of themselves in their films. So when you watch a film like, for example, Lord of the Rings, which is one of the biggest blockbusters that come out of Hollywood in the last decade or 20 years even, yeah, they're constantly reinforces, even in their fantasy, aspects to do with their history, their culture, and so on and so forth, yeah. And what we find is that oftentimes in this era, when African people in the Caribbean, in Africa, and even over here begin to start making films, what we're doing is that we're creating images of ourselves that speak to ideals that are defined by a white supremacist culture or European culture itself, if that makes sense. So you've got African soap operas, Caribbean soap operas that emulate Sunset Beach, EastEnders, Home and Away, Days of Our Lives, and these kinds of things. Yeah, and so the importance of. And
you only watch those programs for research purposes, isn't it?
Well, we have to know about them. But the point is that a lack of culture is very important, yeah, and history is very important, because we're now emulating this ideal of success, and so therefore we're creating soap operas based upon the lives of European people as demonstrated in these soap operas, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's very destructive to our mind and psyche. So the good thing about things like Hidden Colors is that it provides a different frame of reference, a different school of thought, a different narrative for the creation of images. Yeah. And last and finally,
finally, please, yes, we got other callers waiting, please.
Just a last big up. I want to big up the All Nights comic book collective. Yeah?
Yes, indeed.
We have to bring them up because they're creating images, and a lot of the films that we're seeing right now, the blockbuster films, are based upon comics. And so All Nights are creating comics with positive images of black superheroes in them for African people as a whole. So we have to big up all these people that are doing serious work out there, you know what I mean? And tap into them and support them and big them up.
Absolutely.
We can engage that collective economic.
Brother Shakara, we're going to have to move it on, my young brother, but thank you very much for your contribution. Very incisive as usual.
Yes, sir.
Give thanks. Tendai Mwari. Brothers and sisters, you're tuned to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com, the only de-brainwashing station, brothers and sisters. We're joined by Brother Marley in the studio. We're going to be interacting with him shortly, but you can interact with us, brothers and sisters, on 07538 or 07983-852-952.
We've got we do have Brother Ade on the line, but before Brother Ade speaks, he says, I got a text here and it says, as far as I'm aware, it's not only descendants of slaves from Jamaica who are submerging themselves in their culture, it's descendants all over Europe. Do you not have the names of other filmmakers in Europe? But let's move on to Brother Ade. Maybe somebody can phone in and give us some names or text in some names.
Tendai Mwari.
Tendai
Mwari, Brother Ade. Tendai Mwari, we need to get him connected properly.
Hold on, my brother.
Yeah.
Right, we're here. I briefly heard your Yoruba greeting.
Do it again.
Do
it again, my brother. Do it again.
Shalafiani, my brother. Can we say Ekaro as well? Is it at the right time to say Ekaro?
Ekaro's good morning, yeah?
All right. That's why I asked the question, if we're too late to say Ekaro, but...
You see, the Yoruba language is very easy to speak. I mean, there's actually a college up in Tottenham that, they teach Yoruba,
Mr. Kola would be embarrassed. We actually have Yoruba classes at our shop, my brother. Unfortunately, when he comes to class, we're actually leaving and going to different events.
Anyway, Omawale, yeah, you see, all these American film, so-called Hollywood film, I rather believe on the inside, rather than film that is distorted. I don't necessarily tell the truth,
Right.
And look at that. Very few of the Hollywood things, with the exception of the West Side Story, which was a drama, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, most of it is just fake, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I would rather prefer a film from Nollywood, which is a village on the outskirts of Lagos. Yes.
I'm glad you said that, because I actually just wanted to get to that real quickly, the impact of Nollywood, because what's happened basically is our people in Nigeria and different parts of Mama Africa have basically taken the European films off the shelf and focusing on the Nigerian and films from around West Africa and Mama Africa, period.
Yeah, well, exactly, Brother Omar. I mean, the very outlets where you could get it in your area, there's Peckham. I can get it in my area in Cricklewood. I mean, where there's a good actor, you can get, film made by Nollywood for black people, by black people. And the highlights, essentially, like there's one done by this fellow who's one of the few Africans who settled in Lagos, Jeffrey Daniel. Does the name ring the bell?
Yes, it does. Is it Shalimar?
Yeah, that's right. And
okay.
The both settled. Jodie Watley, his bandmate, the lady, she's actually married to that. They're both heavily involved with the media company in Lagos.
Okay.
I mean, Jeffrey Daniel is equivalent of what they call Simon Cowell over here, doing exceptionally well.
That's great stuff. Good for Jeffrey Daniel.
I mean, for Jodie Watley as well. They're involved in the media section there as well. Where they're doing exceptionally well.
But
I don't really believe in like I said, all these when this Americanization or Eurocentric film that's regarding slavery. They're not my type of things, that I follow,
Yeah. And Nollywood is actually a multi-billion US dollar industry, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Sorry, Nollywood. I think I said Bollywood. Nollywood.
Yes, exactly. After your Hollywood, where Hollywood in America, which we know is Los Angeles, located in Los Angeles. And like I say, a lot of different they do. There is distortion. You have the Indian one, so-called Bollywood. That is. It's where you see most of the actors and actresses look like me and you.
Right.
They're paid by the vendors. The distributor will distribute it over here. The African community, whether in America, Canada, Switzerland, France, etc.
Right.
We're doing well. We have something in our community, Brother Omwale.
And my understanding, my brother, correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's not just producers, actors, etc. from Nigeria. They're actually Ghanaian and other African countries that are actually on the kind of in the Nollywood family as well.
Of course. I mean, due to the close proximity of Lagos to Accra, because it's just over the border. So most of the film are shot in actually in Ghana.
Right.
In Charakode and all the major Ghanaian cities. So there's cross borders, the Ghanaian actresses, Ivorian actresses, Malian actresses. They're all involved in so-called Nollywood. So it's good. At least we've got that's something we could look forward to. We as people, I will encourage more of us.
Absolutely.
To go over there and try to find, if they're interested in the fine project, because all of these drama packs.
Right. Can I just quickly say, my brother, to you that you need to big up your manager. By the way, that's on a sports tip. Your manager, he's an African. You need to big him up, man.
What, Chris Ramsey?
Yeah, absolutely, but
of course. Yeah,
big him up, bro. Big him up. Another story for another day. But
anyway, cheers.
All right, Tendamroy.
Cheers.
Tendamroy, brothers, sisters. Slight what's the word? Digression there. Tendamroy. Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM. www.galaxyofewe.com. Tendamroy, you're in tune to Africa Speak to Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio.
Tendamroy, brother Kwame, you have to make your point.
Brother Kwame.
Yeah, very briefly. Yeah, with respect to the last caller, I lived in Ghana for quite a long time, and I was exposed to the Nollywood films. But with respect, 90% of their films are wicked films in terms of they teach men how to be players, they teach women how to be successful, and you see the Nollywood films. You see how most of our men dress and most of the women dress. It's very, very westernized, and with respect, our Nigerian brothers and sisters are some of the most westernized Africans, and this is depicted in their films.
Okay.
So I personally wouldn't, and one time, the ladies I was with actually barred from actually, watching any Nollywood films because basically it was feeding some kind of negative.
Right, but what about the? I appreciate love what you're saying, but what about the 10% though?
This 10% are, particularly some of the Ghanaian ones are good because basically they're teaching about, fables and culture.
Well,
and,
yeah, my point is not to necessarily rule out the whole industry, but because it is an industry and it is speaking to us, and maybe that's part of the issue. It's speaking to some of the contradictions in terms of how we are expressing ourselves, but it's an opportunity for us to then maybe make changes and maybe transform that 10% to 50%, and who knows, you know. But I overstand the main point that you're making, my brother. Give thanks and praises. Thank you very much, Brother Kwame from Nottingham. Right, we have in the studio none other than the man himself, the man that we're going to see on Sunday the 15th, and it's from Back to Black Media. Have I got it right?
Almost. Back to Black Empire.
Back to Black Empire, after all. We're an empire. Right, Tendamwari. Brother Mali, Tendamwari, welcome to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Right. Brother Mali, now, I know you went to the States and you heard our brother speak. Was that part of the inspiration of bringing him over, or had you already had that in mind after seeing the film? What was the inspiration?
I had, let me see. So first of all, I had actually seen the films. That was the first thing.
Right.
And was blown away by what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to spend...
We're talking about the Hidden Colours trilogy for
That's
those
right,
who just...
yeah, I should actually mention that.
Yeah, sorry.
So there I am watching Hidden Colours 1 and then watching 2 at the same time, because when I actually saw Hidden Colours 1, 2 was already out. So
Right.
I was already late to the game at the time. So there I am watching this, and for, you know, what was the best part of 4 hours, I just watched images and pictures and people telling me how great I am.
Right.
Telling me about my my pedigree, as it were. Now, up until this point, what I've heard about me and my pedigree is that I'm lazy and shiftless and good for nothing, and I leave the children, and just pure negativity.
Yeah.
So I sat there saying to myself, "Well, wow, you know, it was all one big lie," and I knew I wasn't as bad as they've all been making me out to be. And now, what do I do?
In fact, you weren't bad at all.
I found out I was great.
Exactly.
Right? It was like, well, I'm great, and, you know, all the brothers in the Black Father Support Group are great, and all the friends that I've seen that grew up at school, they're great, and there is a, you know, we are like we're like the diamonds that have been created after years and years of pressure and life from beforehand, and here we are. And now we have a responsibility to do something with it.
Right.
So,
well, you clearly took it beyond just your own personal inspiration.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you know, I could do all the self-development and talk about it all I like, but if I'm living in a community where everyone around me is still, you know, dealing with white supremacy on a level of my boss talks to me in a horrible way, we've got no chance.
Absolutely.
We need to grow together and rise up together. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
That's wonderful.
So what we did, myself and my queen, we jumped on a plane and went to Amsterdam.
Right. Tell us your queen's name.
Angie and Zinga.
Sister Angie and Zinga. All right.
Yes.
We'll just say Sister Nzinga.
There you go. Sister Nzinga.
Sister Nzinga.
Yeah. I just call her Queen now.
Queen Nzinga.
Yeah, simple.
That's your special privilege.
That's right.
We'll allow you that.
Everybody's making claim to their wives this evening, you know. So
oh man,
you're just so you're in good company.
You know, the thing about this woman is that, you know, it's a ridiculous idea. It's a ridiculous idea to decide to get in touch with a brother who's putting these DVDs, who lives in Los Angeles, not in New York, you know, the other side of America.
Right.
And say, hey, why don't you come over to London and do it? I mean, it's a level of ridiculous that you have to be willing to do. And
commitment, I would say.
I think what is normal and what is expected isn't enough. We have to go to the level of, you know, beyond that.
Absolutely.
You know, and you have to be really willing to put your ass on the line.
Your rear end, brothers and sisters.
Yeah. That too.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. We get a message.
You have a what you'll see is that you'll see many brothers and sisters who will talk a good talk, and people who'd want to do something about it, but actually going out and doing something about it, that takes a level of commitment that really pushes you. And
so you
really have to do that.
Okay, so you went to America and
no, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, sorry.
That's right. Yeah, went to Amsterdam because I knew that he was going to be there speaking. We knew he was going to be speaking about 2 days before he was going. So we said, "Should we do it?" And she's one of these. Yeah, let's do it. She's like that. Nzinga's a perfect name for her. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we got on a plane, went over there with two jobs. It was going to A, see what the brothers like live, and B, invite him to come to London.
Right.
So by the time he was finished, there was a stunned silence in the room.
Right.
So he's like, "Thank you very much, good night," and the room is like that, right? So I was like, this is good. I like this, because usually people go, okay, and clap hands. And the brothers in Amsterdam were visibly shook by the information that he was portraying. So I said, we've got to get this brother over. And that was where the ball started rolling.
Right. Well, that's wonderful, my brother. And back to black.
So it's definitely worth coming out to see and hear. The brother. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead, my brother.
It's definitely
sounds like that to me.
Yes, yeah. It's definitely worth coming out.
You went all the way to Amsterdam.
That's right.
You spent plane fare. You and your wife, 2 plane fares.
2 plane fare and a hotel room.
And it was worth spending every penny, right?
It was worth spending every penny. I have to big up brother Daniel from My Black Market.
Oh, right. Yes, young brother. Yes.
Right. Now, young brother Daniel was also there in Amsterdam.
Okay.
I saw him. I'm like, I know your face. And we start talking, and Dr. Umar Johnson was speaking the very next day in London.
Okay.
So I said, yeah, I want to go to Dr. Umar Johnson tomorrow.
Yeah.
He said, me too. I said, great. What time's your flight? He said, I took the coach. So I was like, really? So brother Daniel left Amsterdam at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I had to take I took the flight home. I had a shower, went to work, so on and so forth. Brother Daniel walks into Umar still carrying his suitcase. so to me, I thought I did something powerful. That brother literally traveled direct from one to the other. So
I love it. I love it. You know what I love about these anecdotes? The absolute enthusiasm.
Oh man,
for the knowledge, for the word, you know, it just reminds me. I've been on Liberation Road for over 30 odd years, and I'm still enthusiastic. I'm still as eager today, for the message, for the knowledge, and for our people to do so. And just to hear from Brother Mali, and the anecdote that you've shared. I mean, it's just wonderful.
It is wonderful.
And that's how we've got to be.
Absolutely.
That's how we've got to be. And I hope brothers and sisters listening to this will be saying, well, because sometimes you always have people in two minds.
Well, if he's leaving the audience transfixed as he did in Amsterdam, then it certainly is worth coming out, brothers and sisters, this Sunday, the 15th, at the Friends House.
That's the one.
From 6 to 9 p.m. So make sure you're there, brothers and sisters. Tell us about the Back to Black Empire, my brother.
Yeah, I'd love to. Just before I do, though, just so the listening audience is aware, Dr. Les is also going to be on the bill. On the bill.
All right, Dr. Les Henry.
Dr. Les Henry is going to be on the bill. So the first half hour is Dr. Les Henry, and the rest of it is going to be.
And what's Dr. Les Henry doing?
He's also going to be talking about the international rules of racism.
Right.
I know we're coming up to the end of the hour, so I'm going to be very quick. The international rules of racism are exactly the same as the rules of racism that you see here in the UK. And the same rules you see in your job. It's the same rules. It doesn't matter where you are, the rules are still the same.
Okay.
White supremacy doesn't care the time zone or the country you're in.
Absolutely.
It is still the same rules.
Right.
So you see things like, for example, policemen.
Remember, you want people to come out.
Don't worry, I'm not giving any spoilers. Not giving any spoilers. But you would see a policeman who would shoot down Mark Duggan, and then would say, Mark Duggan, I was afraid he might shoot me because. Get the gun, throw it away 25 feet, and that's at the point when I shot him. They could use that, and it's exactly the same thing they did when the brother shot Mike Brown in the US. He said, I was afraid for my life, so I had to do it. You see, Christopher Older, there was 4 policemen it took to hold that brother down and take him in a legal hold and kill him. And did you know it was 4 officers who took down Eric Garner in New York as well? Did the same thing. So you got to start looking at these examples of
the commonality between.
There is. So now you have to start thinking, well, if they are militarizing their police in the USA, are they militarizing their police in the UK?
Indeed.
Of course they are, because they're running off the same hymn sheet. So we need to start looking at that and figuring out, well, what do we need to do?
Right.
And that is the reason why this event is so important. Dr. Les Henry has promised me that he is going to spit verbal lava at the audience.
All right.
He's actually said, don't come too close to the front, or you might get bun.
Or wear protective clothing.
Come in some Teflon. It's gonna be great. So that's what to expect on the night.
Brother Marley, it's a pleasure having you on our program. Short but sweet, unfortunately.
It's my honor. Thank you very much.
It really is a pleasure. Brothers and sisters, make sure you make it on Sunday the 15th of March at the Friends House, which is 173 to 177, is that?
That's right.
Euston Road. And you can contact. Is there like a contact number?
Very quickly. You can go either online to backtoblackempire.com. That is back the number 2 blackempire.com. You can buy tickets there online.
Right.
If you'd rather buy it in person, you can go to Pampemsey in Brixton, the CD Bar in Stratford, Hawkeye Records in Harlesden, Supertone also in Acre Lane in Brixton, or from Maestro Records in Peckham, and the Unk Centre in Shepherd's Bush.
And
Body Music as well in Seven Sisters.
And Mama Africa, Culture Shop, and the Mutt Art Centre in Tottenham.
You
got them all in.
Everywhere you can go and pick up these tickets. They're everywhere.
Okay, Tenamra.
Full address.
All right.
Brother Marley, I've heard you speak about on radio how Galaxy could benefit from ticket purchase. Do you want to say something very quickly about that?
Absolutely.
Please do.
If you go on to back the number 2 Black Empire, you'll see as you're making your booking that it would have a box there saying enter your coupon code. Now, if you use the coupon code AFIWE, so AFIWE, you get your tickets for a discount. These tickets allow you to get your tickets for cheaper, and it also allows 10% of the ticket price to go to the brothers here at Galaxy. So we need to start doing that in order to help our brothers and sisters run this station.
Brother Marley, I just got to quickly interject there. Brothers and sisters, we haven't come to the close of the show. We have an extension of the program.
Oh, we could talk slower? All right then. Very good.
No, because I did want to know a little bit more. Did you manage to get all the...
We thank the management of...
yes, indeed. We got to say Tatenda. A dupwe to the management.
Asante Sana,
Tatenda. Reel them off, brother.
One of our sisters just phoned and said, can the brothers slow it down in terms of giving the details?
Right. Well, this is very good.
Too far.
Of course. I'm watching the time.
Don't you want people to get there?
Yeah. But sister, now we've been given this extension, I will slow right down.
Style now.
All right. In fairness to Brother Mal, he thought we were going to finish at 10 o'clock, so he was trying to cram it all in.
Yeah.
So just relax, breathe, my brother, breathe.
Okay.
All right, take a deep breath. You have time to breathe now, yeah?
Very good.
10 times.
Right, so what we're going to start with, the address, first of all, Sister Kai? Yeah, let's start with the address again. It's Friend's House?
Yeah, it's Friend's House, number 173 to 177 Euston Road. So if you're travelling in by public transport, literally just go to Euston Station by train. That's the same whether it's train station, tube station, or bus station. Get yourself to Euston Station, and right across the road, the main road that is, you'll see a large building with white columns. Head for the white columns and you'll find me there waiting for you.
All right, Tendai Madi. And did you get enough time to do the way that Galaxy Radio can? Did you?
Yeah,
can you repeat that?
Break it down, because I was speaking very quickly. Okay, so one of the big things that Tariq Nasheed talks about in all his DVDs and everything else is the importance of group economics.
Absolutely.
Group economics is something that sounds good, and it requires, again, a level of moving past it sounds like a good idea to actually doing something about it.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to take a leap of faith in your community to see it work. So what I've done is that I've created a load of coupon codes on the website. So an organization like Galaxy, for example, can have a coupon code. Theirs is AFIWE, AFIWE. And as people go online, so this is only for online ticket purchases. As people go online, there's a little box there that will say coupon code. They enter that in there, and then not only does the purchaser get 10% off of the ticket price, but Galaxy also get 10% of the ticket price.
All right.
So what's good for that? What that means is I, Marley, don't have to try and shout as loud as I can to get people to buy from me. Instead, I can whisper to Galaxy and let them do the shouting, and then that ensures that all this equipment that we're using, all the electricity that is getting racked up,
Speak
you
on,
know,
my brother. Speak
we
on.
get to actually help Galaxy,
Brilliant.
and actually
Brilliant.
you then get to enjoy the show as well. It's not just Tariq Nasheed; it's actually Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Les Henry.
And it's practicing the principles
It's
that are
practicing
being spoken about. You know,
Let's not talk about it anymore. Let's try it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And
Ujamaa, collective
Absolutely,
work,
Ujamaa.
cooperative economics. Yeah.
Okay, Tendai Muradi, brothers and sisters, you're tuned to Africa Speak to the Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM. Tendai Muradi.
Yo, this
and don't worry.
solid Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, Galaxy 102.5. Blaze the fire, 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 fire.
Yes, indeed, brothers and sisters, blaze the fire. Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM.
Let
Africa
me-
Speaks with Alkebu-Lan. Tendai Muradi, sister.
Tenamor, I have a number of texts, and it says Tariq Nasheed was able to make Hidden Colors because blacks in the US value their teachers, scholars, and activists. Do we value our teachers, scholars, and activists in the UK? If we made a Hidden Colors over here, who would we get to feature in it? Don't answer that one yet. I've got another text here. Okay, hold on. I got another text here.
Okay.
And it says, this is from Gabriel, and it says, rise up all our Alkebu-Lan warriors, powerful and distinguished brother leader Bandaka. Thanks for Black Our Story, real revivalists, I Hungan priest, Garvey lives, Hidden Colors, real Rasta, Gab.
All right. Give thanks for that, Tendai Muradi.
And I've another text here. Isn't live theatre better for the mind than all this TV, DVD, and cinema? You want to take that one on?
Okay, live theatre, interesting. Are you ready for us, or are you
Yes,
still
go
taking...
ahead.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
talk about it.
Right. What was the first point, Sister Kai?
The first one was if it was done in England, who would be the
Right.
warriors
Uh-huh.
on there?
Okay.
What was interesting about Hidden Colors for me was that as a relative newcomer to this whole movement, was the majority of the people there I didn't know. I didn't know who these people were. I didn't know who Francis Cresswell-Elson was. I didn't know. So it was an introduction.
Right.
And I think that the caller has a point in as much as there are, scholastic warriors right here in the UK, but people don't know about them. People, and then if you don't know about them, then why would you pay to see them? Why would you hold them in any kind of reverence? It baffles me that, while someone would spend a good £120 on a pair of trainers that actually cost about £15 to make in Asia, right?
If that.
Right? They won't be interested or willing to spend to be able to learn and better themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that what it requires is for someone to actually do a Hidden Colors in the UK. I think there is way too much information. You could do a Hidden Colors just on the history of Bristol alone, or just on the history of Liverpool alone. You could do your own Hidden Colors. If you just think about in this tiny island, the effects that this tiny island had on the whole world means that the kind of Hidden Colors that we could do here would be powerful, and I think it has to be done.
Absolutely. Are you familiar with the work of Toyin Agbetu? Because he's done some work over on the Ma'ar for 2007. He's from the organization called Ligali.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's in a similar vein to Hidden Colors. He's spoken to a lot of and mainly the people involved, the speakers, etc., were actually UK based as well. Brother Leader was on one of the actual DVDs. Tendamrai, we got a caller, Sister Kai?
Yes, we have Brother Bob.
Brother Bob. Tendamrai, Brother Bob, welcome to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Our guest, Marley.
Brother Marley, yes, he's there.
Brother Marley, yes.
He just wanted,
sorry. The presenters, you know, Sister Kai.
Yes, she's here,
And Brother Umali.
Umawale, that's right, my brother, give thanks.
And, greetings, brother.
And the wonderful Mr. Bandaka.
That's right, he's here.
Tendamrai, bless you, my brother.
Mr. Bandaka.
Bless you, beloved.
Yeah, you know, I'm talking about Ujama. UJAMAA.
That's correct. Yes.
Yes, I've got an article here from my local paper. It's about Tanzanian socialism, which founded in the Ujama spirit, in the spirit of the Ujama or the Ujama spirit. I wonder if you ever heard about this. Apparently, it's the genus of Ujama. It's from Tanzania.
Tendamrai, yes, we are aware of the program of Julius
Nyerere,
Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, which he called Ujama.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And it was a comprehensive economic program for indigenizing the economy of of Tanzania, empowering the indigenous people, African people of Tanzania economically, etc., etc.
That is right. Yes. You know, I read the full article in the previous edition of the newspaper. But you know, because I wasn't quite familiar with the terminologies, I didn't take much notice. But in the next publication, they gave a brief article on it, saying how it was well received. Yeah, the President Julius Nyerere is mentioned. But, this has been highlighted by a European. I think he's I believe that he's Rhodesian, by the name of Ralph Ibot. He's a European looking man, and he apparently he actually sort of publicized or got the whole thing sort of you know in the public, or sort of push it to make it become sort of viable. So this brother here, Ralph Ibot, he's written a book on the whole subject. It's called the Hidden Story of Tanzanian socialism.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Hidden Story.
Yes, give thanks. We're aware of it, my brother, and it ties in nicely with some of the principles that Brother Mali and before him Brother Tariq was speaking to in terms of collective economics. Yeah.
But clearly, we want to invest.
Yeah. The term really means cooperative economics. It's how we organize as a people, as a nation, as a community, how we cooperate in pooling our economic resources for the collective good and the collective empowerment and benefit of our people.
That's right.
Tendai Mwari.
Tendai Mwari, my brother. Give thanks.
We thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, we give thanks. Tendai Mwari. I would say, brothers and sisters, that what you could tune into is the work of Dr. Claude Anderson in terms of group economics. Powernomics is one of his books. He's got a number of other titles. Tendai Mwari, Sister Kai, do we have a caller on 07538 005634?
Hi.
Tendai Mwari caller, you're live on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM. Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Jay Amari, and I am just so happy that Galaxy have done a full and frank interview with Tariq on Hidden Colours.
Okay.
Because consequently, I heard an interview with Tariq yesterday on BBC, and the presenter, I think, was a little bit disparaging. And before interviewing Tariq, actually noted that I won't have much time to spend with you on this interview, and we will have to do a very short summary.
That was nice of them.
No, and it wasn't particularly wonderful because they warble many weeks about black votes and what should be happening with the generation and party attracting black votes. But Hidden Colours, as the presenter noted, is something which is quite special, creative and unique. And he noted for the fact that when he went to the States to visit his brother, the actual acclaim that Hidden Colours had received. And to top it off, once finishing the interview, he said, I can't be there myself. Didn't give an explanation. Maybe it's because he had the program to prepare for the same day. And he said, well, we will try to see if we can get someone down there.
Who was the interviewer?
I'm sorry?
Who was the interviewer?
Well, it's quite obvious. It's Tariq's in the studio, or representative is there for Hidden Colours.
Oh, all right. Okay, Dotto.
And I tried to listen to as many
BBC London, it must have been then.
mediums as possible. I grew up between here and the States, and whether it's to do the jazz program on WBLS or whatever, I try to listen to as many mediums. And I just felt that for me, when you're doing films of this caliber, and right about now, the kind of cinematography that we have is not really asking questions or being informative. As a teenager, I remember what Spike Lee meant to me. I remember what his clothes shop in the States meant to me, and so forth. And when you hear people who are doing productive and progressive projects like Hidden Colours, you need to give them as much time as possible. So I just wanted to congratulate Galaxy for letting people know that they're going to be available to see. There's going to be a Q&A. I have nothing to do with them. I have no shares, no kind of alliance other than I like what they've done.
And you're an African queen who love your people.
I love it. To me, if you're doing something and you're doing something which is positive for the community and you're asking questions which will provoke people to think, particularly young people to think as we move forward, then that is, you do not give a short segue of time. You give as much time as you can.
He's on the BBC contract. Let me get brother Marley. I don't know why I forget your name, brother Marley.
It's all right. I'm one of these people who try to forget me anyway. Let
me get brother Marley to interact with you,
some
sis.
Context to that interview.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my day. So when we was arranging this interview with BBC, you know, I spoke to the there was a publicist brother. He's that I know. And he's the one that knows people in the BBC. And so he said, look, it'd be great to have Tariq there, but he can't use the term white supremacy. Okay? As long as he doesn't use that term, he'll be fine. So the day before, he goes on to BBC Derby and does an interview and says, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. He just keeps saying it, right? He just keeps saying it. So if you go on iPlayer, you could hear the one on BBC Derby, and the brother is literally and audibly shook by what's happening because he's thinking his contract is about to be ended by this interview with Tariq Nasheed. And he cut Tariq off with a quickness, like literally mid-sentence, like, yeah, and Tariq is like, okay, then thank you very... And it's cut, right? So now,
just in case him said white supremacy again. Yeah?
Thank you very much, white supremacy. No, so there was this. So when it came on to Dotton's interview, now Dotton's interview was actually a lot better than the one in Derby.
Right.
Even though, as the sister says, you know, he did preface it with saying it's going to be a short interview, and he did end it by saying we'll try and get someone down there, but. What I liked about it was that, by that point, Tariq had now been told, in no uncertain terms, if you're going to go on the BBC, please do not use the WS words for them because the BBC are very uncomfortable with it, and you know you're going to cause people to lose their jobs.
That's their N word, is it?
It is clearly. It's clearly their kryptonite. So. Don would have been having that interview with his hand over the cut button the whole time. And that was the context behind what was going on in that interview. And it's really interesting that the sister picked up on that.
Right.
Can I have a
Go ahead, my sister, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for contextualizing that, because unless you listen to, the only streams you listen to are the BBC, then you wouldn't have known that.
That's right, yeah.
I see no problem with him, inverted commas, using that term at all. You can tune into even the TV, BBC4, and they can be talking about Selma Monk and speaking about particular terms, or Niles Rogers and speaking about how they didn't even expect Niles Rogers, a producer, to be the black producer who could funk anything he put his mind to. So that is a term that is, it's a very open term to use, but I guess, thank you very much for pointing out, well, that was what was going on.
Yeah.
Because every week on that particular program, it is about Operation Black Vote. It's about
that's right.
Are there any parties which are picking up or having affiliation for black people? Should black people be like generations above them and just give their votes to what their family always give their votes to? But that was an interview. The interview that Tariq did was of importance because it was something different. And I don't think it should have been relegated to 10 minutes at all. Particularly, we are people in this country who always moan about the kind of
coverage.
Yeah, the coverage and the cinematography and what is available in terms of theatre and what's actually happening with the Africa Centre at the moment and stuff like that. And that's the only reason why. But I'm glad that you've come to the correct place where you come to get real soul-pitching interviews, where you can be as expansive as you like, and where you're going to be not given a certain segue of time.
And you can say white supremacy all you like.
All you like. Sis, on Sunday morning...
I want to send my regards to Brother Bandaka, who I love, and who every time he's been on that side of that particular kind of BBC, he's never held back.
That's right. Tendai Mwari. Love you too, my sister. And if I was to hold back on any medium, I would be misrepresenting my people. I'm here to represent my people. Tendai Mwari.
Yes,
come what may.
People of integrity and honor. And I thank you for standing in your truth and in your authenticity. And Dr. Abu, I hope he's safe in his travels. But I'm going to bid you adieu. I love listening to you. I have loved your coverage of Malcolm X, which is incredibly important.
Yeah,
and you just keep on doing it because this is quintessential listening.
What's your name again, my sister?
Jay Amari.
Jay Amari.
And I love the lady in the studio as well. Good to keep the balance.
Okay, my sister, you've spread love everywhere on Galaxy Radio, and we appreciate love what you've done for us.
It's a good station, otherwise I would have no comments to make.
Wow.
Well, we look forward to further comments.
We need to record that, yeah. Thank you, sis.
And are you going to be there on the night, my sister, just to clarify? I think you said you would.
With some sisters, we have, we're very good friends with the writer Dream Hampton, who used to be behind many interviews. One of the few ladies, actually, who used to be a trailblazer.
Okay.
Back in the industry, so we should be there to do that.
All right,
great.
Wow,
we'll see it.
Wonderful.
Something that, rather than people saying we don't have this where to go, we don't have this, place to go. It was something that was needed for people to know. Well, you're always moaning you don't have this to go to, or you're not sure. There is something going on in your capital.
Absolutely.
Spend your disposable income wisely.
That's
indeed.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And can I just say, as I said earlier on, my sister, Brother Mali can clarify this. As I said earlier on, I'm sure I heard Brother Mali say on yesterday on Bongo Tete's show that Brother Tariq will be in the studio.
That's right. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So
okay, we need to do something very, very importantly. Tendai Mwari, Sister Kai, go ahead. You do
Tendai Mwari.
Do remember a date for your diary, a date for your diary. Do remember a date for your diary, date for your diary, date for your diary, date for your diary, date for your diary.
The 14th of March, 2015.
I feel we Vodum. 10 minutes of drumming from 8 in the evening till 10 minutes past. It's a worldwide coordinated African drumming, a night of Vodum. Awaken a time of ancestral calling. A Fiwi Vodum. 10 minutes of drumming from 8 in the evening till 10 minutes past. Date for your diary,
The 14th of March, 2015.
Fiwi Vodum.
Tonight, my brothers and sisters, you're tuned to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com. Brother Marley's just getting some spiritual advice there from Brother Leader Mbandaka. Wow, what a versatile station this is. Tindai Mwari. Go ahead, my sister, do your thing.
So solid. Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, Galaxy 102.5. Blaze the fire.
That's right, brothers and sisters. The fire is blazing on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM.
Right.
Sister Kai, go ahead. Go ahead.
And what number can they text on, brothers and brother
They
Mwale?
can text on 07572 222 156.
Okay. Well, this text out 703 didn't give their names, but anyway, it says, "Hi Galaxy and Mama Africa, brothers and sisters. Myself and friends went to see the first ever Hidden Colours screening and debate in the UK in 2011. Powertainment / Power Films and debate first screened it in Leytonstone, and it was a roadblock." Yeah, I think we touched on it earlier.
Right.
Yeah. Power Sis. From Powertainment. Yeah, their film show is called Powertainment. Yeah, they keep on promoting Brother Menelik's films and Brother Tariq's. Can you tell me if Powertainment's still around from United Churches?
Okay, somebody from United Churches wants to know if Powertainment...
Definitely Powertainment is still around. Powertainment is doing power films through their young people at the moment, and they're showing Dark Girls, the film Dark Girls, this Wednesday at Mama Africa Culture Shop 282 High Road, Leyton, E10 5PW. The nearest tube is Leyton Station, and that's at 7 o'clock. So yeah, it's the young people who power youth, as well as
in association with
Army, the Alkebu-Lan Revivalist Movement Youth. And it's not just for young people, but they're targeting young people. But, you know, there's always a number of old heads there. But the very important subject, Dark Girls, it's a film. And I think it's featuring Viola Davis.
It's starring Viola Davis.
Yeah. And it's going to be a question and answer session as well. So be there, get involved, because Powertainment is definitely still up and kicking.
And support our youth.
Yes,
they're doing
definitely.
They're doing some good work. Tindai Mwari.
Powertainment and Power Films. Powertainment. It's a brother. What's his name? Because Power Films is Power Sis. Powertainment is I can't remember that brother from
I'm not
Nigeria.
too sure. We'll
Okay.
get him.
Right,
Tindai Mwari. Brother Marley, Tindai Mwari. We heard from our sister.
Mwari. Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of love on the airwaves.
Yeah. Oh, that was excellent to hear. And you know, as Brother Mandaka was saying, Tariq Nasheed is coming into Galaxy Towers on Sunday morning.
All right.
With Brother Herakuti. So you know, if you want to see him unleashed, if you want to hear him unleashed, then you should.
And our own Herakuti, he's a man that's been in films as well. A number of films. He's written a lot of screenplay. He's vast, you know.
Very, very.
I remember the first time I didn't know it was him.
And a musician extraordinaire. You know, he's a very multi-talented.
He's written
elder.
plays and so on.
Yep, indeed.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw the film Babylon, and I saw this tremendously tall, gigantic Rasta man with his red, gold, and green gear on. When I was a youngster then when I first saw it. And then about 10, 15 years later, when I saw the film again, I heard this voice of the Rastaman, and I recognize that voice. That's Baba Herikuti. He didn't look as tall and as
gigantic. Yeah.
Tenamori.
It certainly was.
We have Brother Ralph on the phone. Tenamori.
Brother Ralph. Welcome to Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan and Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM. How can we? Well,
how would you like to join the discussion this evening?
Greetings, my brother.
Yeah, no, I'm just today I saw something on Facebook, which was I had to laugh at it. There's a preacher man in Africa. I mean, I don't even know which part of Africa, but for some reason he's got people he's preaching them, obviously, and he's preaching them and tell them something like, you must have faith and go. So if all the congregation in the church outside in the field eating grass, so I can't believe it that you go fool some of the people. These people, you don't see them in the field. They're all lying on the field eating grass.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
You feel it?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
How come 2050 now is still as foolish? I mean, you can fool people's brain up so much in 2015, eh?
I mean, this is the reason why it's so important to really start having honest conversations. Because you're right. If you don't have these honest conversations that you would have if you go to an Alkebu-Lan event, or if you're listening to Galaxy, then you're wide open to accept any old nonsense, to the point where you'll lie on the floor and eat grass because some person who's deemed himself holy enough to tell you what to do, you're now going to listen to that person. It is imperative for our people to actually start dealing in the realms of reality and not just on the talk of someone who believes that they're actually ordained through somewhere else.
Any comments there, brother leader? I know you may not have seen it, but just the whole symbol of this Christian preacher. Christian preacher who is teaching his congregation that for them to show faith that they should be able to eat grass straight from off the ground. Mm-hmm.
So you see young people there grabbing blades of grass and just chewing it.
Sorry, my brother, you wanted to say? Sorry, go ahead.
They're all in the field like cows eating grass.
Yeah.
I mean, how can these people not realize that these things that these religious people bring to us, it's just completely destroying us as black people? We don't do these things. What's the matter with these people?
Go ahead, brother leader, go ahead.
All kind of people play all kinds of games with us, my brother, because of the history, the awful history of the Ma'afa that we have suffered under the Europeans for the last 500 years and under the Arabs for the last 1400 years, that make many of us very, very malleable, easy to be manipulated. And that's why we in the Alkebu-Lan Revivalist movement urge our people to return to the way, return to our way, our traditions, our spirituality that strengthens our minds and enables us to take, make critical observations and make critical decisions about our lives. Yeah?
Yeah. But it's just unbelievable to think that people in this name of this Jesus. To be honest with you, I'm not a Christian. I'm not nothing to do with religion.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going. I see life different. I see life is helping each other. We are here. This is a reality. If you can help another brother on his way and his journey, that's what we do.
I am because we are, and since we are, therefore I am.
We're not here to make Jesus turn it into an idiot, then make Jesus turn it whoever Jesus is.
There you go.
Well, it's very interesting, my brother, that Hidden Colors 4 is dealing with religion and white supremacy. So, an opportunity for...
We're going to see you on Sunday, my brother?
Sunday's a day when my day off, so I will definitely make an effort. I'm a regular listener to Galaxy now.
All right.
I'm a regular. And I was on the march as well.
Okay, wonderful. So we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
All right. Then.
And also, I was there when Brother Milton was having his thing up in the hospital there. So.
Okay.
All right then. Give thanks.
Long time with Power Jam. Yeah. On this journey, it's something saying to you.
Yes, my brother.
It's starting when you see our people used like this.
Give thanks. Tendamara, my brother, give thanks. We got to move it. We got to move the program on Tendamara.
Tendamara have text here, and it says, as much as it pains me to hear that our people are being gunned down, don't we have ourselves to blame for not taking an interest in law enforcement and the procedures and politics in general. That's from 143. And
right. Okay, which one of our guests is going to take that? Brother Marley, did you look like you want to take that?
Brother Marley. It's your moment.
Law enforcement, my brother. Why?
One of wait. Let me just get two texts in. Around here we say Tendai Mwari.
That's right.
Can you expand upon the economic program in Tanzania? Right. We don't have a lot of time to expand because we're finishing at 10:30.
I think our brother did it earlier on.
Okay.
One of our guests did, and Brother Leader also was involved
Enlightened
in that interaction as well. So we just deal with law enforcement, my brother. We should get involved in
very quickly. Very quickly. Okay. So if you listen to the police association right now, what they'll tell you is that you need to not resist arrest. You need to listen to what the police officer is telling you, and everything will be fine. That is a lie. That's a complete lie, because I can show you documented evidence of the brothers and sisters back in Selma, for example. Now, those people weren't wearing their jeans, low. They weren't dragging, the jeans weren't sagging. They were wearing suits.
This is Selma, Alabama.
Selma, Alabama, right? So I'm using that as an example. These people were wearing Sunday best to go for their walk. They weren't being disrespectful or resisting arrest, and they still got killed.
Right.
You have people who can go in a taxi fare, who can go in a taxi in Tottenham, not be doing anything to anyone, not resisting arrest, and the police can pull up on you and shoot you dead, just execute you one time. You can have a situation where you are part of the establishment. You are a soldier who has fought for Queen and country, and they will still kill you.
We're talking Christopher Alder here?
That's right. So this idea of, well, if we knew and should we take responsibility? No. This is what happens when you live in a system of white supremacy and they're making crazy plans, not based on logic, but based on what they feel they want to do to others and what they can get away with. You have to understand that these people get high. It's also like a drug. It's addictive. Power unrestrained is addictive. And if you are in a white supremacist organization which is built within a white supremacist system, you're gonna wish and wait for the next chance where you can get a hit of white supremacy and feel real good about yourself.
Absolutely.
So if that is what we're living in, if that's a system we're living within, we need to start actually thinking differently, not thinking about, well, what do we have to do about these rules and so on and so forth. We need to be smarter about it and start looking at what tools we need to take into consideration.
Give thanks, Brother Marley. Quickly, Brother Leader.
Very quickly. I'm coming back to Brother Marley, actually, because I was hoping this opportunity.
Well, we have a text, Brother Leader. Before you go back to Brother Marley, yes, there's a question that wasn't answered, one of the texters. So you might want to finish your point, and then I'll...
I was just going to say that I was hoping to do this a little bit earlier to get Brother Marley an opportunity to flesh out the answer to this question. But Brother Marley is also one of the co-chairs, one of the strategic leads for the Media and Publicity Subcommittee of the Interim National African People's Parliament.
Absolutely.
Otherwise known as INAP.
Otherwise known as INAP.
Still known as INAP.
That's the one. That's the one.
It hasn't had a name change.
No, that's not a name change at all. We're here to say, and we're 4 active members of INAP sitting in this studio at the moment.
Right here, round here we said Tendai Mwari.
Yes.
INAP is our political party.
That's right. That's what the young brother said. That is what the young brother said, and we can't let the young brother down.
That's the direction of our youth.
But I just wanted to, if you could just share with the listeners, Brother Marley, because initially yours was a business relationship that you had with INAP.
That's right.
And then that business relationship changed to membership, and then a lead role, and then your wife joined up. What's going on there? Tendai Mwari, share that with the listeners.
Yeah, Tendai Mwari.
Queen and Zinger again.
Yeah.
Queen and Zinger.
There you go. There you go.
You have about 1.5 minutes to do it.
Okay, I'll do it in one.
But you know how to talk fast anyway.
Yeah, I can talk fast. So, I've seen organizations come and go. So if someone says organization, immediately I have baggage.
Right.
And so I actually interact with it with baggage.
Right.
So I was like, look, if you need a website, I can build your website for you. It's going to cost X amount of pounds. Boom. Pay me, and you'll get your website. And that was that's as far as I was going to go.
I remember the emails. Yeah, go
Right,
ahead.
right. You remember the emails? Right. So now, as a brother from the Black Father Support Group invited me to come to one of the events, I said no. He invited me again. I said no. He invited me again. I said, okay, look, I'll come along.
I think he needs to be named and honoured.
To keep you quiet. It was Brother Smurf, Errol Murphy.
All
We
right.
know him as
Good,
Smurf.
good, Brother Errol.
He said you should come along and check it out. And I came along and I said, quite good. I still don't trust it. So I came to another one, and I was like, okay, this organization's got something about them.
Right.
And that's when I signed up. And it was I would go home and tell the Queen like what I've heard. So I'd say, this brother Mandaka, he said this and that, this and that. And she said, okay, sounds like an interesting organization. I'll check it out. She came one time and was like, I'm in. So that was our journey.
Very decisive sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Brilliant.
Wonderful,
Brilliant.
Brother
I'm
Marley.
sure you'll encourage everyone listening in to sign up to INAP.
Sign up to INAP. Please do it
Tenai
for your own sake.
We have a text 016. Big up Raspet Fire Bingy. Round here we say Tendai Mwari. Mapenzi to all on the mothership Galaxy.
Yes.
All right.
Tendai
Mwari.
That's what we say around here.
Sorry, go on.
You have a text that said, if we made a Hidden Colors over here, I'm cutting it short because they said what's happening in the US. If we made a Hidden Colors over here, who would we get to feature in it? Can I just have a quick answer? Who would you get to feature in it? Who would you get to feature in it?
Dr. Les Henry.
Dr. Les Henry. Who would you get to feature in it?
There's lots of people in our community. There's people like Baba Huey Andrew, who's a whole hand.
Junior Elder Kwabin.
Just because it's called the name.
Leader Mandaka. I'd have Leader Mandaka in
All right, Leader Mandaka. All right.
There's so much.
Yes. There's
Sister Ekoa.
Baba Ghazi.
Sister Ekoa.
Sister Afiyong.
Yeah.
Queen Mother Zinga.
Yeah. All right. We got a few. Tendai Mwari. I just
Dr. Robin Walker.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah.
I just want to say, in the last few seconds, if you can quickly tell us about the Black Fatherhood Group. I know it's...
Oh, the Black Father Support Group. We meet every Wednesday in St. Andrew's Church. If you are a black father and you want to come and get some more information, or if you're just a black man who wants to be able to network with some other black men, come down on a Wednesday, 7:30. We're there. You get Aki and Saltfish too.
I'm coming.
As part of the deal. So come down
and
get some good physical and emotional food.
Hidden Colors UK. I must include Shakara.
All right,
yes.
Young Shakara, man.
Ridiculous.
He's
I would definitely
top of the list.
Raspik Fire.
What about me singing? What about me singing?
And Sister Kai. Not singing though. No.
Maybe not singing.
No.
No, but
not for this one. Not for this one.
Not for this one.
I mean, in the last couple of years, Sister Kai has, received a number of awards in our community, and she's got 2 coming up this month.
Absolutely.
Can I be singing at them?
All right, moving swiftly on, brothers and sisters. Tendai Mwari. Is that the time already?
No, we have a caller. Kwame, you have 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Tendai Mwari, brother
Kwame, you have 30 seconds.
You got 25 seconds, Kwame. Okay. Kwame's
right.
All right, never mind, brother Kwame. All right, Tendai Mwari. Right, just to say, I just want to say, really, tatenda to our guests this evening. This has been Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan on Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM, www.galaxyafiwi.com. Thanks very much to brother Tariq Nasheed, who was here earlier.
Yep.
Thanks very much to brother Marley, brother leader, fixtures and fittings of Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan, my brother. We give thanks
that breathes the breath of life.
Indeed, and we just want to say a special warmth and to the family of Baba Yosef Ben-Jochannan. We know our elder, our Baba, our teacher, our leader. He is in transition into the realms of the ancestors, and we pray that his journey is a smooth one. And we want to give thanks to all the contributors, texters, callers, you name it, brothers and sisters. We want to give thanks for all your contributions this evening. We want to give thanks to the management and staff of Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM for this wonderful institution, brothers and sisters. And we really are very, very grateful for this platform. We want to also give thanks to our producer, brother Olatunji Heru, who is behind the scenes doing some tremendous work. We give thanks and praise, and also to the politics department of the Alkebu-Lan revivalist movement as well for making things possible. Brothers and sisters, this has been Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan and Galaxy Radio 102.5 FM. I want to give thanks to my co-host and award-winning DJ. Not DJ, we don't use DJ anymore. Award-winning presenter, Sister Kai Awagadao Mbandaka. Yes, I do that. Whoop, whoop, healer. Yeah, this has been Africa Speaks with Alkebu-Lan. Join us again next week, brothers and sisters, between 8 and 10, or maybe even 10:30 again, where we talk it straight and make it plain. Tenda Mwari.